start a 3-city road trip tonight in Detroit with a 3:40 p.m. first pitch against the Tigers. It's Brian Wu against Framber Valdez. Pregame show starts at 2:30 p.m. on Seattle Sports, 7:10 a.m. and the Seattle Sports app. It's Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight between the Knicks and Spurs. Tip-off at 5:30 p.m. on ABC. Knicks up 1-0.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. You thought we were the only ones hearing and seeing Seahawks disrespect. Bump, players are absolutely seeing it. Now, yesterday we learned Jaron Reed is seeing it, and he's letting it fuel him, right? Like, he was like, yeah, I hear it. I'm not going to lie, it bothers me. And that's, if it were me, probably how I would handle it, or rather how I would see it. Like, I would just hear that disrespect and be angry about it. As you know, I get a little fired up.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a temper. You're supposed to, thank you. You're supposed to say not really.
Temper.
Exactly.
I'd call it something else. I don't know what it is. Usually one of your words of the day pop up on your screen.
Oh, you're right.
Or
I got a new vocabulary app. However, I think your approach is a little more similar to someone like Drake Thomas, who we're talking to later in the show. And I thought that was interesting because you really can use it in very different ways.
It's got to match your personality, right? I think with Jay Reed, I'm not surprised that he would read it and take offense to it, but not really let it bother him, right? There's some people who can read the comments, there's some people who can't. Jay Reed is the type who can read the comments. I think Julian Love is the same way. Jay Reed more aggressively, Jay Love more laughing at it, you know. And then there's Drake Thomas, who we spoke to. We'll hear from him today. And I'm more like him. I'm just not going to pay attention to it. I don't mind reading comments. They don't bother me, but I'm not going to go out of my way. Like, if I happen to see something that is kind of funny, someone says something like mean about me or the show or something.
Sometimes they are fun.
I'll go and look at it and be like, all right, that's pretty good. But I just do my own thing. Like, if I stumble across it, I stumble across it, but I don't go out seeking it.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that would be my approach. And when I played, it was easier to have that approach because X was just getting popping. It was Twitter at the time. There was no Instagram, or at least it was at its infant stages. Facebook was for college kids. It was just a different world back then. I didn't listen. I remember someone told me that, rest in peace, John Clayton was talking crap about me one time on the show.
Do you remember what he said?
He said I was slow as heck, and I wasn't going to make the team. So I made the team, and I was like, man, I wish I could talk to JC right now. But I made it, fool. I made it. But big ass rest in peace, JC. I love that dude. But yeah, it was easier back in my day. These guys cannot escape it. I mean, we're walking through the IPF yesterday, the infield practice facility, and there's a board set up with a camera there. They're asking these guys questions, just their daily experiences with the media and with all these platforms, just on a different level.
And I can respect. See, I try to be like that. Like, I really do, because you're right. Like, you've been part of a team, so you're like, you really have to kind of, there's so much you have to think about as a player that it's almost not worth letting those other voices come in unless, like you said, they're kind of funny or silly, or you can just brush them off. However, I do think fans like talking about it, and so they probably like it once in a while when players say something or talk some trash. Like, for instance, when we asked Jaron Reed what he thinks about the Rams adding Myles Garrett.
I don't care who plays. They can build a super team or whatever. At the end of the day, we still have to go put those pads on the plate later on down the road.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those are great players, don't get me wrong, but it's just almost like, so what are you saying about us? You know, and I feel like we done played some of the greatest teams, hardest teams there is in the league. And, you know, I just feel like, man, look, put everybody number ones up. Just give them all to us, and then what they going to say then? Let's just say, theoretically speaking, you know, we handle our business, do what we're supposed to do. Will they still be saying the same thing then?
Stop interrupting, Stacey. Jaron does make a really good point, though, which is like, we did play tough teams. We played the Rams 3 times, and, you know, what about us? So.
And two, it's like, unless a team gets to me like a all-pro type quarterback, right? You're not making that huge of a jump. Did you get better? Yeah, you got better with Garrett. Heck yeah, you got better with McDuffie. But unless the guy who's touching the football every single play is an all-pro type of dude, and that is what you gain, I get it. I get the excitement about Myles Garrett, but it don't move the needle that much to me. It moves it. It moves the needle, but they already got an all-pro guy that we've seen before and understand how to play. They already have an all-pro receiver. They already have one of the best receivers of all time. They have a decent running game. They got tight ends who can ball out. They got a good team, and they've beaten them twice. So adding Myles Garrett does add a dynamic, but it don't make me shaking my boots thinking about the Rams at night.
That's, I think, the correct answer, and the right one being like, look, no one has more impact than a quarterback, but maybe because of that, you know why people are questioning the Seahawks heading into the season. Why?
They're questioning the Seahawks because they didn't make a Myles Garrett move.
Well, and because who's Myles Garrett in theory affecting?
The quarterback.
Bam.
Sam Darnold.
It's Sam Darnold.
Yeah. So I here's the thing is I'm gonna keep it real while respecting the Rams at the same time. I know better. I've been an athlete and didn't give the proper respect to winning, underestimating, and all that good stuff. I've done that before. I made that mistake. I'll never do that again. But, yeah, you're right. Myles Garrett affects our quarterback. But there are things that we can do to affect Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's not a perfect player. He's one of the best to ever do it, for sure. All my old heads, a lot of my old heads I hang out with, LT, to them was the greatest football player of all time. I'm talking Giants LT, the greatest football player of all time. And he still got. He still had days where he didn't perform. So it's but this is what it is. The fact that you're in this conversation, this lets you know that you have a good team coming back and teams are making adjustments to beat you.
Yes. Did Sam, though, show anything from last year that you think is unfairly being ignored by people?
He showed resilience. I mean, he showed responsibility in the playoffs. He showed even that game that they lost in L.A., 4 interceptions. He still put that team in a position to win that ball game, right?
A lot of people forget that.
They do. I mean,
Quite literally.
we still were a field goal away from winning that ball game.
You're yards away.
And that's what Sam pointed out, too, to where when he realized, right, this team is for real. Like, I almost lost that game for us. Yeah, we almost won that game. So I think I think all the stuff that Sam has been through, the doubting, the hating, the moving around, the being kicked to the curb, that's all. And now him talking to a sports psychiatrist and getting his mind right, it's built him to who this guy is today. And that's a guy who rolls with the punches. And at the end of the day, I feel like it's capable. We got 2 seasons in a row. He's the winningest quarterback. No one's done back-to-back 14-win seasons. The winningest quarterback the last 2 seasons. That does not happen by accident with 2 different coordinators as well.
Well, and I just also think that the Seahawks don't need the single best quarterback in football to be able to get back to and win a Super Bowl. We already know it's hard.
Yeah.
You've said it before, but you were like, if someone's take is just they're not betting on the Seahawks because it's so rare to do, then you'll like accept it. But if someone's take is that the Rams are just a better team and should have won last year, you're like, the Seahawks were 3 random plays away from going undefeated.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, if you swapped the stats for these 2 teams, I don't think I'm talking the exact same stats. I don't think anyone's talking about LA in quite this way.
If what?
So if you swap the stats where it's like swap all the scores and the outcomes and everything, like when you think about how dominant Seattle was, and I'm not just talking like DVOA, number 1, wire to wire. I mean like their losses were tiny losses. What was it, like 38-37 or whatever it was because of a last-second fumble against the Bucs. Like you said, missing by virtue of a field goal despite turning it over 4 times against the Rams, and then losing by 4 against the San Francisco 49ers in Week 1. Like those are such tiny margins of error with the tiniest differences. That's how close you were. It's not they never got blown out by anyone. Not a single team blew them out. Not a single team won by forget more than a score by like I think San Francisco was the only one by like more than a field goal, if not just a field goal difference. I can't remember if it was 17-13 or 14. Either way. That's dominance. And I'm just stuck on why like there's so much very real doubt.
On paper, the Rams look better. On paper, you have reigning MVP coming back on your team, right? Matthew Stafford. You have arguably one of the best offensive weapons in the game in Puka Nacua. Oh, don't forget you have the leading touchdown receiver last year in Devontae Adams. Then you go on the other side of the football. You add an all-pro caliber type of DB in Trent McDuffie. It's because of what was added and what was already there. if the Hawks were to add an all-pro corner and an all-pro defensive guy, they'd be talking about the Seahawks, right? But because the Seahawks approach has been different, it's been we're going to the draft, we're going to get our guys, we're going to develop. We don't have to make too many adjustments. We'll get a guard who might be able to help us out here later on in the season. It's just more subtle. Well, you look at what LA has done, it's just that headline moves. Bow. Like, they literally have headline moves. Trent McDuffie, Myles Garrett, Matthew Stafford's coming back.
Sure.
And you look at our moves, and they hate on it. Derek Hall. You know what I mean? Like, and Derek Hall is a good move. He's a good move. This team needs a Derek Hall. And Coach said it yesterday, don't focus on his stats. The impact of his game on the game is crazy. It's the headline, and people love headlines, and we just haven't hit them. You know, our biggest headline is Jason getting Defensive Player of the Year. That's our biggest headline.
Which did go viral.
Yeah.
I think that there's a little bit of, and I'm going to sound like that whole like East Coast bias, ironically, about two West Coast teams, but before the Rams even traded for McDuffie, there was still belief, including after Thursday night, leading into the NFC Championship game, that the Rams were just the better team. And I don't think that it's only because of those moves, though you're absolutely right. That has, and we can see it reflected by odds makers in Vegas, increased their Super Bowl odds, just those two trades. But it's the belief in Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and just in the Rams being consistently contenders that, like, they didn't, before they did anything, people felt like, maybe the Rams should have gone to the Super Bowl.
I would imagine it's the feeling I got when Mike Tyson fought Logan Paul. And I thought this Mike Tyson was going to get him because he's Mike Tyson. You know, that's the same. Like, they look at the Rams. Well, that's the Rams. That's Sean McVay. That's Matthew Stafford. That's Myles Garrett. Of course they're going to win. No, you got to go on there. You got to fight. You got to throw them hands. I think that's where the Hawks come in, is that they don't need all the hype, the glitz, the glamour, and all that stuff. They're going to get in the ring, and they're going to box with you. And the confidence that I feel from this organization that I hear is like something I've never been around. Now, I wasn't covering the team when they were Legion of Boom in their prime, Super Bowl champs. I would imagine they have that same glow.
Yeah.
So I've been covering this team for 10 years. This is the year, more than last year. This is the year where I'm like, yeah, this is the most confident team I've been around.
Okay, so I'm thinking right now with your answer, let's say that you are in sports radio in LA. And let's say that instead of us going, why are they being disrespected? The Seahawks are, let's say they asked you, well, why wouldn't the Rams win? Like, what? Like, I'm looking at the Rams. I'm looking at what they have. Like you said, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, runner-up, touchdown leader. Like you mentioned, why? Like, what? How do you make the case for the Seahawks over the Rams?
You don't. If the Rams don't win it this year, it is an absolute failure. Absolute failure. They've done too much not to win this year. They have that pressure. I mean, embrace that pressure. You can have it. The Hawks don't have that pressure this year. The Hawks have, oh, by golly, they got lucky last year. That 2-point conversion. Oh, but if they would have played so-and-so, it would have been different. Okay, that's fine. That's the story that people are writing for the Hawks right now. The Rams are supposed to win it this year. I think the Hawks can win it, but the Rams are supposed to win. With all the moves that they've made, with what they have returning, they're supposed to win it. But that doesn't mean they're going to win it. Supposed to win and actually doing it are two different things.
That's actually really interesting because now I'm wondering, like, okay, I don't think this is going to happen. In week 5, if the Seahawks are 1-4 or 2-3, they aren't going to hear anything they aren't hearing right now. If the Rams are 1-5 or 2-3, I should say by week 6, do they kind of have like a shock to the system?
Yeah.
Are tempers flaring? I don't think there's ever going to be issues. It's too strong a locker room, a coach. I have a lot of respect for the Rams and for Sean McVay, but like, that's a really good point. And that we've learned from watching the Mariners that expectations do things to you. And expectations can affect a clubhouse, a locker room, your confidence, your frustrations. The Seahawks don't have those in the same way that any other defending Super Bowl champ has over the last several years, with the exception of maybe the Bucs and Tom Brady.
It's almost like people literally think they got lucky.
Yes.
Lucky ain't winning 10 games in a row to close out the season and win a Super Bowl. That's not luck. You don't win 10 games in the NFL by luck. Maybe one you win by luck. But for them to put together the run that they did and finish the job off in the Super Bowl, now that ain't luck. But you know what? So be it, Rams. You put all this pressure on yourself, and good for you because you made your team better and you've made people notice what's going on over there. So now you have the expectation to win it all. This year with the Hawks, I don't think people expect them to win it all. I think people expect them to be contenders and to be in the mix. But the crown, go ahead, Rams. You guys wear the fake crown right now. All right, until then, the Hawks got the real crown. The Lombardi is at VMAC right now, chilling in the trophy case, and we're all working towards the end of the season. But the Rams put all this pressure on themselves, which is fine. They embrace it, I'm sure. They're not no punks. They ain't scared of it. But the storylines are just different, and I'm okay with it. Praise the Rams all you want to. Hawks will be ready to go.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners begin a 10-game road trip with 3 against the last-place Tigers starting today. What's the real headline?
A sweep puts you closer to Tarik Skubal in a Mariners uniform.
I know that's right.
Yeah, beat them down. It makes no sense for Skubal to come back. But I'm still interested to see if they would really make this move. I would love it. I think whenever you get a better arm of the mound, obviously you got a better chance to win championships. Curtis broke down. You're only using 3 of them things in the playoffs anyway. So, let's go ahead and get a surplus of talent. But this is a series I expect them to win.
Yeah.
Detroit's not playing great. You got Baltimore, who has been a disappointment, and then Washington's been playing some good ball. So I like the build-up to Washington.
I was very down for the Mariners adding rentals at the deadline last year when it was guys that you had a chance to re-sign. Like Josh Naylor was not like the single best bat in baseball. He ended up being fantastic for Seattle, but you wouldn't have to worry about teams drastically outbidding you. And same with Gino Suarez, who you already knew and loved and was a fan favorite even when he was out of Seattle. Mm-hmm. So it was like, great, fantastic. Make a run at it. Get this done. Make splashes at the deadline. How fun. This is someone where it's a rental, and I am very okay with a rental. I think there's a 0% chance he signs with Seattle. Like, the second he's done, the Dodgers are throwing the bag.
You already know.
So does that affect your willingness to bring someone in? Because, again, even with Naylor here, you were like, if he has fun, if he enjoys his time, like, you're in the race with everyone else.
I'm good with rentals. Let's take a rental and do something we've never done before, which is win a World Series championship, right? Like, I think you have enough pieces here to where if Skubal's a rental, he goes elsewhere after the season, it's not like your team's going to fall completely off. You still got a bunch of arms, young arms waiting for their opportunity. You still got guys signed in for the next couple of years. Why not take a swing at this dude?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Knicks look to go up 2-0 on the Spurs in Game 2 of the NBA Finals, which is tonight. What's the real headline?
The Spurs need Wemby to be an absolute alien monster to win this one. Good news. He is.
I'm rolling with the Unks, though, man.
You are?
I'm rolling with the Unks.
Too.
I think Wemby's going to have plenty of opportunities to do this. New York, I don't think they're going to have plenty of opportunities to do this. Brunson is still young. Cat is a big guy. I anticipate him getting banged up. It's just this group of guys with the Knicks only comes around every so often. Every 20 years, it feels like. With Wemby, they are so young over there. Wemby's young. Castle's young. Harper's young. Their coach is young. He's 39. The Spurs are set up for the future. The Knicks is like, you got to get it done this year.
Can the Spurs beat a Can the Knicks beat a Spurs team with I'm not knocking Wemby's performance in Game 1, obviously, but like a much better version of Wemby?
They can. It's going to be tough. I think I don't see any blowouts in this series. I was sitting there watching the game with my New York friend, and they're like, easy win. I looked at them, I go, you called that an easy win? Like, look at the score.
They were down 10 in the second half.
The final score does not indicate the journey to get there.
Yeah.
Like, take it easy. And then they calm down, like, you're right. Okay, I got to
Spurs
come
came
out.
out
Like,
hot.
yeah, I'm like, come on now. It's not gonna be easy. This is gonna be a tough series.
But you're not calling a sweep.
Nah.
I shouldn't say but you're not. It sounds like you're very much not calling a sweep.
Nah, I think the Spurs get at least one.
Yeah. Curtis?
Yeah, I think the Spurs. I think they win tonight. It goes back to New York tied 1 apiece. I hope this series goes long. I think these are 2 pretty evenly matched teams when at full strength. So I'm hoping for a nice long series, 6-7 games. And I still think the Spurs have enough talent to beat the Knicks. But, yeah, the Knicks have just been on an absolute heater here. I mean, they've won, 11 straight games? They haven't lost a game since April 23rd.
Crazy.
It is June 5th right now. They went the entire month of May without losing.
My birthday month. So who on either team?
Matt Nelson's birthday month.
Who on either team is not
My
getting the
son's birthday
spotlight.
month.
But okay, fine.
My daughter's birthday.
Oh my God! I'll share it. Who on either team? I was here first. Is not out of all those people. Is not getting some of the spotlight he deserves. Like most underrated contributor on either team so far through one game.
Josh Hart with only 2 points but 15 boards.
It's crazy.
Like he affects the game.
6 assists, 4
in
steals.
so many different ways. Like he is just an all-around ball player. Whatever you need from him that day, he'll give it to you that day. So I'll roll with Josh Hart.
Curtis.
Yeah, I mean, he was everywhere. Big ups to Karl Anthony Towns for holding his own against Wemby too.
Yeah.
Oh, Bump, have you been playing 82-0?
We're gonna get to that in the timeline.
Okay, I won't say anything.
We're gonna
Don't look
play
it
it
up.
on the air, by the way.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
don't look it up
right.
until the
All I
commercial
see
break.
is screenshots in this group chat we're in.
I think
I'm like, what
I
is
think you're
this?
gonna have fun.
Okay, don't look
All right.
Don't look at it yet.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the Carolina Hurricanes won an instant classic last night against the Golden Knights. They were down 2-0 in the third. They scored 3 to take the lead. Vegas they tied it at 3-3. Then in the overtime, Seth Jarvis with the game winner for Carolina.
All the critics wondering where they've been if they score the game winner in overtime. God's despair. They score! Seth Jarvis quiets the critics and ignites the crowd.
Playoff hockey is special.
Special.
Stanley Cup Finals tied at 1 apiece heading back to Vegas. What's the real headline?
It'll be interesting to see if a hurricane can touch down in a landlocked city. Because it's not
Some
a tornado.
geography humor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because it's geography.
You need
for all
water for a
our
hurricane.
geoheads out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, because
pretty good.
you need seawater.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the temperatures for seafaring people understand.
Pressure.
Yeah, the water,
Yeah.
the sky.
Hurricanes typically
And the heat.
in tropical
And air.
environments.
Exactly.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Vegas,
can,
Vegas is a
The
desert.
desert.
yeah, so it's not by the sea. When we went to Arizona for my birthday month, we were at this place and I was like, why is this? It was like a seafood thing. I was like, why is this so expensive? Sam was like, well, we're not.
Yeah.
You know how far this food has to go from the ocean to get here?
See, if I ate seafood, I ain't touching it if I'm not near water.
I didn't realize that.
I'm
I
not
just
touching it.
Well, then I immediately was like, oh, never mind. I don't want this.
Yeah, because that thing's been sitting in a truck for like 20-something hours.
At least
Yeah.
days. That fish died 5 weeks ago.
That fish, yeah.
Not
That fish
bad.
been still for a long time.
Not even a little bit. Oh, can I tell you something embarrassing that happened to me? Have you guys done something like this? You start saying one word and then you say another word and combine them on accident because you can't be normal
Yeah.
in a social situation.
Done that.
I was walking back into my apartment after walking the dog this morning, and my neighbor, who I see all the time, so you know when you feel like the social pressure to acknowledge someone that you see pretty regularly, said, "Happy Friday," and a very normal response, "Happy Friday," would have sufficed. But instead, I started saying, "Right, thank goodness," but then "thank God" at the same time. And so what I ended up saying is, "Thank goodness."
They got your drift though.
Yeah.
They picked
I
it
didn't
up.
know if you guys had a similar thing.
I
where-
can't think of one, but I'm sure I've done that.
It's very enjoy the movie U2 at the movie theater. It's that kind of feeling. Enjoy your meal
Yeah,
U2 at the
yeah,
restaurant,
uh-huh.
and then you just think about it for hours after. I can never go back here. I can never show my face at this restaurant again.
So you're not going to see him again? That's a wrap.
No, he's my neighbor, so see him every single day, multiple times a day. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. One of the single most important facets to Seattle's Super Bowl title. Next.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Drayer,
You look at the pieces and how it works.
plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Thinking about investing in home upgrades? Worry less and save more with Snohomish PUD's network of trade allies. These are trusted local contractors who can install heat pumps, insulation, new windows, and more. And when you work with a PUD trade ally, you can unlock instant rebates. This means lower upfront costs, lower energy bills, and work done by vetted pros. Find a PUD trade ally at snowpud.com/rebates.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Spring Classic collector car, truck, and boat auction. Saturday, June 6th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
For 24 years, Sea Star Restaurant and Ron Bar has been Bellevue's and my go-to for fresh, seasonal seafood. And my good friend, Chef John Howie, is behind every plate.
Hey, thanks, Brock. You know, springtime is the best time for fresh, wild Pacific Northwest salmon. At Sea Star, we go from Columbia River King, my personal favorite, to the Copper River King in May.
So whether it is a date night, whether it's a business dinner, or you're craving the very best wild salmon, go visit John Howie at Sea Star in Bellevue. Visit Sea Star in Bellevue.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Your neighbors at Three Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. Three Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're number one.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of the 30 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
Weekdays 10 to 2.
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
If you had to isolate some of the biggest contributors or biggest reasons that Seattle just went on a Super Bowl run, I think people would turn, oh, great defense. Oh my God, Mike McDonald, brilliant coach. And all of that is absolutely correct. But also the draft has been so monumental in what Seattle has been able to accomplish. So we wanted to be able to talk about why that's one of the most important facets to where the Seahawks are right now. Greg Rosenthal talked about John Schneider being an all-time GM.
Like, the whole point of this is to win championships. Howie's got 2. John Schneider's got 2. And so I'm going to give him the love in this scenario that he's on just this big of a heater. It is outrageous. If you start with the 2022 draft, and I'm going to read the names off from that draft: Charles Cross, Boye Mafe, Kenneth Walker, Abe Lucas, Kobe Bryant, Tyreek Woolen. What an outrageous draft that is. But then he follows it up with Devin Witherspoon and JSN, maybe the best 1-2 in the first round combination we've seen, and Derek Hall and Zach Charbonnet in that draft, followed by Byron Murphy and helping to choose Mike McDonald as his coach. That is just a heater.
It is an all-time heater, Bump. And there was a period of time where I know that, I've criticized the drafts, but what John Schneider and his staff have been able to do for the last several years is why they are here.
It's easy to criticize the draft during the draft, right? Because you're looking at just straight potential. And either you believe in someone's potential or you don't believe in someone's potential. And then there have been times where you just don't believe. I remember even when Jason was drafted, people were scratching their head like, what, a receiver at 20? When Spoon was drafted at what, 5?
Mm-hmm.
What, 5? I think Charles Cross was a safe one. I think everyone's like, yeah, we
they were
understand
like, yeah, you
that.
need a tackle.
We get it. K9 was questioned a bit. Like, why are we getting another running back? During the draft, everyone has these strong opinions, and they have these strong opinions without putting in half of the work that John Schneider and the crew has put in. But you can also look at past drafts and say, well, there's a reason why, because Rashad Penny, because of L.J. Collier, because of countless other picks that don't hit when most draft picks don't hit. So they're not hitting. You're not winning games to the playoffs. Therefore, people are going to question you. So now you go on this run to where you get some good talent. You show potential to be a contender. You lose in the first round. But people kind of like the results that they're getting out of these individual players. The last 3 or 4 are the ones that really been hitting for this team. And then it's the offseason acquisition, too. You get your quarterback as well. You bring over Leo. It's a combination of things. It's not just what John has done and Mike have done during the draft. It's at the trade deadline, too.
Well, oh, no, I was going to say, well, and these are the things that make a team a contender. Like, we can talk all we want about who's going after the top free agent, who's going to be able to sign this guy, and kind of those names we already know. And it's like, do whatever you need to trade for Max Crosby. But, these are the things that get you there.
Yeah, and everyone has their own way of going about their business. The Rams drafted a quarterback with a number 13 pick, and we're sitting here criticizing the heck out of them. Like, what are you thinking? There are so many other players available at 13. This is where you go. What if 3 years from now, Ty Simpson is a starter there and looking really good? And we're going to go back and say, man, that was a heck of a draft they did. Right? They rolled the dice.
We didn't believe in him.
It's so easy, and it's our job to have opinions on what we're seeing right now, especially when it comes to draft picks. But you never know how things are going to work out for these guys. And as of late, John and the crew have figured out a formula that works. I wish I knew exactly what they changed. I know if I were to talk to John, he's not going to say nothing, right? You changed something. And if you haven't changed, then you just got extremely lucky because you kept doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. What do we call that? Insanity, right? But something had to have shifted in the last 4 years, I feel like, with his draft process.
Yeah, and it's like, I understand if someone says, oh, well, choosing at 9 and 5, especially choosing at 5 in a year when you have another first-round pick, and then, even choosing at 16, you are just likelier to hit on talent than you are when you choose at 30 or 31 or 32.
Oh, but on Trey, you moved up to 32 to get Nicky Mawario, too.
Yeah.
That dude's become a baller.
But I also think that I'm glad you mentioned Ken Walker, because there's a lot of picks that have been made where the Seahawks would have those picks anyway. You know what I mean? Like, the Seahawks haven't had pick number 5 They haven't been bad enough outside of trading for it to be able to get that. But they've had 5th-round picks. They've had 6th-rounders. They've had 4th-rounders and 3rd-rounders and 2nd-rounders.
Yep.
Like, they're hitting on those. And that, to me, is the biggest difference. Like, yes, it is monumental and not a coincidence that 2 of the best players on your team were 1st-round picks. That's just something that, like, John Schneider wasn't able to enjoy as much as his peers in the NFC West because they had random years when they would tank or be awful or get hurt, and then they would get those top picks. You weren't getting them. So it's nice to be able to get that. But now you're also getting right back to being great with those late-round picks and making the most of those. And that's, to me, the big difference when you're talking about, like, a lot of GMs can look and go, oh, you know, we really, really love Devin Witherspoon. Now, I don't know that every GM does it when they need an edge rusher, and Jalen's right there. I think there are some GMs that don't pull the trigger. But Seattle did. Everyone knows that Devin Witherspoon's talented. It's harder to find the Ken Walker and draft him where you did, or the Derek Hall, or Boye, or even look, I know people will talk smack about Anthony Bradford. Anthony Bradford's your starting right guard on a Super Bowl team, and you got him in the 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're going to extend him.
4th round.
4th round, excuse me. I don't know if you're going to extend him, but you got a lot of play out of him.
Yeah. You know, when we talk late rounds, I think 4, 5, 6. 4 or 5, really.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, you ain't getting nothing out of 7. You know, you might get a guy to hang around for a little bit. I'm looking at their 7th-round picks.
Chris Carson.
As of late, yeah.
Well, that's of late.
Of late, we got Ricky White. We have Mason Richmond. We have this year, we have Dansby and Eastern. I think we're hearing a lot of good things about Eastern and Fuller. A lot of good things about him. 2024, you went DJ James, Michael Jarrell, Laumea, who's coaching for the Cougs right now, I want to say. Jarek Reed, McIntosh. It's really that 4 and 5, right? You got to hit 4 and 5. And 4 and 5, you got Anthony Bradford at 4 in 2023. You got Reek Willen at 5, Kobe at 4 in 2022. In 2024, you got A.J. Barner. In 2025, you got Torrey Horton, who I think is still going to be great for this team. Robbie Oots, Riley Mills. That's where you hit. If you find something in round 7, then you need to take all of your scouting department to Ascend and have them eat dinner on you, John. Because typically you just don't find it. It's like they're basically undrafted free agents for the most part, the 7th-round picks. But where they've hit, 4 and 5. You find a starter or 2 at rounds 4 or 5, you're doing a good thing.
I have a question for you from a listener. Is it a coincidence that they started drafting well after Russ was traded away?
I don't think Russ had anything to do with that.
Yeah,
Russ ain't sitting there making calls saying, I like this guy.
He's not taking take LJ Collier, guys.
Yeah, nah.
You need Penny right here.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a coincidence. Now, we're going to have a conversation later in the show about, like, if Russ was so great from 2017 to 2020, then why didn't they win a Super Bowl? And I do think that, like, Russ has a hand in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it more as, and I know that one of these great classes was with Carroll here. I look at it more as, like, what kind of impact did Carroll have? Because he was here for great drafts and for bad drafts, and we'll never have the answer to that.
Yeah.
That's probably one thing I look at a little bit and wonder. Not saying that there is an impact, but I think that it is likelier that there's a correlation there than with Russ.
The correlation, I think, they're moving pieces all the time upstairs that no one really knows about, right? A scout gets moved, an executive here, whatever. Titles that we don't even know about, guys who contribute that are moved. And every now and then, I think you find the right formula. I think, obviously, the biggest move was probably Pete Carroll. And it's unfortunate because I love Pete Carroll, offered me a scholarship at USC, had a relationship with him for 20-plus years. But the way it ended here wasn't good. He was holding on to people. And then he goes to Vegas and does the same thing, brings back the old heads and people that he knows, and he's out there in a year. So time is telling me that now that John has been through these struggles and has more of a grasp on what's going on, and you're teamed up with a younger coach who's innovative, the formula is popping right now.
Can I ask you an only slightly related question?
Mm-hmm.
If you could have a job in the front office, but you got to customize what the job is, what would it be?
My job, just finding talent.
Talent finder, director of talent.
Director of talent, finding talent from players to social media directors to anything. It's talent scout. I'm like an AR or something at a record label or something like that.
Mine would be director of secrets. And it would be my job to be like, we need you to dig up dirt on this player. And I would be like,
they literally do
leave
that.
It to
though.
me.
They
No, I
do
know.
that.
And
Yeah.
I would like to join that department.
Okay.
And be like, so I screenshot this photo he was tagged in on Instagram from 4 years ago. I think we need to ask him about this. I would don't you think I would excel at that program?
I think you would.
If I was, or I understand someone might already be the director of secrets, so I don't want to step on toes. Assistant director of secrets. I think I'd like to apply for that job. Coming up, back to the Mariners, the pros and cons of dealing for Tarik Skubal.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
How you do one thing is how you do everything. And for 104 years, Wayscarf Ford has treated their customers a very special way, the Wayscarf way. At the end of this ad, I'll share what might be the best offer they've ever opened up to customers. But first, it's important to understand the way they do it and why. For 104 years, Wayscarf Ford is focused on a low-pressure, family-owned approach serving Auburn, Pierce, and King counties. They aren't just selling cars. They're welcoming people into the family. Stacy here, and I've personally felt that. I've driven my new Ford Bronco from Wayscarf Ford for over a year. Getting it was exciting and stress-free, but also each time I brought it in for a minor bump or service, their team has been super friendly and polite. I always leave Wayscarf Ford with a smile on my face. And now for the offer. Wayscarf Ford is opening up Ford's A-Plan employee pricing to every single customer. It's better than the employee discount. It's the family discount at Wayscarf Ford in Auburn, wayscarfford.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains June 5th through the 11th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Harry Douglas here to help you get in on the sweet life with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy. It's that classic throwback cotton candy flavor, but with 0 sugar and a 5-hour energy boost. I keep these with me so I can tackle that sweet tooth with a tasty caffeine kick and no guilty sugary aftermath. Bring on the sweetness with Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy Shots. Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
All Covered Painting works with Seattle homeowners who care about details. They listen to your vision and help bring it to life. Book All Covered Painting for your summer project and ask about a complimentary color consultation with an interior designer. allcoveredpainting.com. Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Mariners and Tigers today in the Motor City. First pitch at 3:40, pregame at 2:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Power your drive with Mobil 1 Motor Oil. Buy 5 quarts, get $15 back, and score a fast and furious prize after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising. higher still.
Till the savings Wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap Good RX. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are joined in 15 minutes by Seahawks linebacker Drake Thomas. Before we get to that, let's talk about Tarik Skubal. Did you see, Bump, the poll that Brock tweeted out yesterday?
No, I don't be on social media like that.
So you didn't rock the boat in Brock's poll?
I didn't.
Well, I did. So I guess I'm just a better teammate. Brock put out a little poll, and it was, God, I'm trying to scroll down and find it so I can see the results. It was just asking, like, would you give up Emerson Hancock, Warriors of Club Control of Emerson Hancock, for Curtis? Do you know where the poll is so we could see the results? I'm sorry.
Yes. So Brock yesterday posted, this is around 1:45 p.m. It actually has a couple hours left. So if you want to vote for it, you can still vote. If you're in line to vote in Brock's poll, stay in line.
We're passing out water.
There's snacks. There's everything. You
Imagine.
don't even have to register.
No. We're
You can only cast one
Twitter.
vote, though, unfortunately.
Yes.
Brock says, based on Jeff Passan's piece about a possible trade partner next month for the Mariners, would you be willing to trade 4+ years of club control for Emerson Hancock for 2 months of a Tarik Skubal rental? Right now, you can either vote heck yes, because it's Brock, or heck no. And right now, heck no, with 584 votes, is leading at 64%, 64-36 over trading Emerson Hancock plus others for Tarik Skubal.
First of all, are you surprised by that? That
No.
2/3 of people say no.
No, I'm not surprised.
Why?
Because Skubal will be a rental, and people aren't sure that he would want to re-sign here. If I'm Skubal, though, I'm with the school out here. They got young talent on this team. This is a pitcher-friendly ballpark. Why wouldn't I want to re-sign it? And don't let them mess around and at least make it to the World Series. Why wouldn't I want to re-sign here? But it comes down to money. How much are the Mariners going to want to pay him? Now, the Mariners are disrespectful with it, then, yeah, I'd be upset. But I would assume to get a talent like that, the owners, majority owners, reach down in those pockets and make this happen. It's scary, though, to think that someone else is going to reap the benefits of Hancock, and you have the possibility of not even re-signing Skubal.
I will say, now maybe Hancock, who has been spectacular this season. He has won you games this season, and unfortunately they have lost games they should have won with Emerson Hancock. But this is also like a year in which he's figured it out. And prior to this, he was your sixth guy. He was, coming out of the bullpen. He was, do you trade him? What are you going to do with him? And far be it from me to say he can't be this for the rest of his career and end up being great for you. But I am surprised that 2/3 of people are saying that. Now, yes. What I think is happening is just the phenomenon of my stuff is better than anyone else's stuff. If it was reversed, and if the Mariners, had the same record, so pretend that rather than the Tigers, the Mariners are actually like on pace to get to the playoffs and win their division. And you had Tarik Skubal here, and he was coming back, and you're thinking, Skubal's coming back. We can make a run at this thing. We got a Cy Young winner, multi-Cy Young winner who's here and ready to go, and then we're getting Cal back, and then Donovan's coming back, and then you were hearing that another team wants to trade you Emerson Hancock. What would your reaction be? Pretend you have Kirby, you have Logan, you have Brian Wu, you have Bryce Miller.
Shoes on the other foot.
You wouldn't want to trade him.
No, I wouldn't want.
You wouldn't want to trade him.
That's not the case, though.
Because you would think you have a better chance to win a World Series with Tarik Skubal right now than you do with Emerson Hancock and whatever happens with his career over 4 years. I think that it's just this kind of feeling of I like what's already mine and I don't trust what other people have. But I'm just saying, like, you are closer to a World Series with a Cy Young pitcher on your staff. It's just, again, I think ignore Hancock entirely from this because I'm not by any means trying to insult him, but where Tarik Skubal is right now as a pro is above and beyond what most teams have.
Yeah, it is. I would have to lean on rolling the dice and banking that Skubal likes what's going on around here. It would hurt my heart to see Emerson go because the potential's crazy. He's already making adjustments and showing that he's one of the elite. But Skubal's a for sure thing. You know what you're getting out of Skubal. Skubal to this 5-6 man rotation, whatever you want to call it, there's no argument that this is the best rotation in baseball. There's none with Skubal. With Emerson, there's an argument. There's other guys or other rotations that are pretty nice. I didn't realize how well the Yankees were pitching at this moment. I went back and looked at their numbers. Like, goodness gracious.
Just lost Judge, though.
But, yeah. But, yeah, that's I like a for sure thing. I do. And I want to put out a announcement to Brock Heward. He don't follow me on X. Brock does not follow me.
He doesn't follow me either.
Block him.
Brock does not follow me.
I love broccoli, but he does follow me and I follow him, so we're friends. But I do think that you should block him and see if he notices.
Broccoli Heward, huh?
Yeah.
Thought we were boys.
You should unfollow and then follow him again so he sees it. I do that to people all the time.
He ain't going to see it. Brock don't be on his phone like that.
I want to read you.
I just did it, though.
Both of you, actually, a text from a listener. 425. This is dumb. We have excess pitching. And I'm reading it because, not to like make fun of the 425, but I think a lot of people feel this way. We have excess pitching, a 6-man rotation, and you want to bring in another starter? Our offense is the issue. To what would you guys say?
Are any of those 6 pitchers a reigning 2-time Cy Young Award winner?
No,
just ask in the room. Just asking everybody.
No.
Yeah.
You get a guy that's like 1% of the pitching talent in the league, right? He is up there with anybody. Skeens is probably just the one I look at and say he's on some other stuff, but Skubal's up there.
I like what both of you have said in yesterday's conversation about this. Curtis, you said, yeah, the Mariners have one of the deepest rotations in baseball, but depth doesn't matter as much as start line stuff when you're looking at a 3-game series or, winning 3-4 in a row, whatever it is. And Bump, which is a great point and convinced me, Bump, you also made a great point to this listener saying our offense is the issue. And you said, yeah, undoubtedly. However, what if the single best thing at the deadline this time around, which wasn't the case last year, is an arm? And what if the best bats available just don't really move the needle for you? And that's just what this trade deadline happens to be.
Yeah. You just don't know. You just don't know what bat's going to be available, who's doing what.
Maybe
all
it's
projections.
not a great market.
It's all projections, but a for sure thing is a for sure thing, man.
Yes, because I do agree that offensive inconsistency, right-handed bats, like that's the problem. But what if you can't find the answer?
Skubal just had Tommy John, right?
No, he just had it was to get loose bodies out of his elbow.
Yeah.
So
you need tight bodies.
Right. Yeah. None of these loose bodies. It's summer, beach bod.
We all have to get our bikini bodies.
Exactly. But his recovery has gone a little bit quicker than anticipated. I think a lot of people thought he was going to be out past the All-Star break, maybe even past the trade deadline. But I talked to Cody Stavenhagen of The Athletic last night on Extra Innings, and he said that Skubal's recovery is going pretty well to the point where they're probably going to send him out on a rehab assignment maybe within the next week or two. So with that kind of in mind, you're definitely looking at him probably being back at the big league level sooner than the trade deadline, which I think is July 31st, around there.
Yeah.
Still doesn't change my mind.
What do you mean?
Right.
You still say
the injuries?
Yeah.
I don't.
Still
It doesn't change my mind either.
As in, yes, you would do it.
I'd still go after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather give up a couple of prospects and maybe Emerson Hancock for 2 months of Tarik Skubal than giving him $300 million.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I think that's a smaller price to pay than giving him a huge contract.
Yes, and I think that the Mariners operate, and I'm running out of time, so I will end this, but I think the Mariners just operate on a different plane than a team like the Dodgers, where you're trying to leap at windows that you have that might be brief.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that a rental for a chance to get to a World Series seems ridiculous, but you're playing the chance game. Like, that's the game you're playing when you're the Mariners.
It's a game you got to play.
Exactly. All right, jump into the Seahawks here, joined next by Seahawks linebacker Drake Thomas.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Drayer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
I got to ride in the brand new all-electric Arc Sport, and it was a luxury Eevee on the water. Stacy here. You hop aboard immediately and feel like you're someone important. Luxury finishes, clean, tech throughout. Driving it is smooth, and it has that impressive kick you expect from an Eevee. Charging it is really easy, and not paying for gas is a huge plus. Book a free demo and see it for yourself in Lake Union, Lake Washington, and Lake Sammamish. Schedule your demo at arcboats.com/demo. If you can't make it to them in Kirkland, they'll come pick you up. arcboats.com/demo.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
Your property is almost perfect, if it wasn't for that troublesome tree or stump. Stop looking at it and mowing around it. P&D Tree Service will remove it for you. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, a small yard, or land clearing, P&D Tree will do it safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees and stumps away from homes, leaving a clean yard to enjoy. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeService.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. At Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, we've been serving the East Side for more than 24 years. We love serving our guests and creating wonderful memories. We also love serving the community, from local schools to amazing organizations like Hope Link, the American Cancer Society, Bellevue LifeSpring, and so many more. I want to thank you, our guests, for supporting Sea Star all these years, making it possible for us to serve and help those in need. Thank you. SeaStarRestaurant.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners start a 3-city road trip tonight in Detroit with a 3:40 p.m. first pitch against the Tigers. It's Brian Wu against Framber Valdez. Pregame show starts at 2:30 p.m. on Seattle Sports, 7:10 a.m. and the Seattle Sports app. It's Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight between the Knicks and Spurs. Tip-off at 5:30 p.m. on ABC. Knicks up 1-0.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Purdy from the shotgun on 2nd and goal from the 6. Snaps, looks, throws toward the goal line. Ball is bobbled just a bit, and it's picked off. He bobbled it into the hands of Drake Thomas. Thomas has it. It's intercepted by the Seahawks down inside the 5-yard line. McCaffrey can only stand down there with his hands on his hips saying, what in the world just happened? It is the first career interception for Thomas, that is, who was Johnny on the spot.
Drake Thomas joining us right now. Drake, I was told that you switched jersey numbers.
Yes.
Tell us about the new one and why.
So I'm wearing 32 now. It's a number that I've always worn since I was little. My dad wore it, and that's really why I started wearing it. Ever since I was little, that's the number I chose when it was an option. And since Pop Warner and just the youth age, I've been wearing 32. So when I got to the NFL, that was the first time in a long time I didn't have the number, and I just feel like the best version of myself when I'm wearing 32. Like when I look on the field and I see that number, like that's what I think, like that's me, you know. So I'm excited to be back in that number.
What's that process like? You got to fill out a form or something and then request 32? Like,
kind of.
Talk to EK?
Yeah, you talk
up?
to EK, run it up the chain, see if it's available, and just go from there.
What so I would assume coming into this year is a bit different for you because last year you're back up, right? You're just doing your best to stay afloat and do your thing, and then you hit the scene and ran with it. And I was talking to somebody, maybe I was talking to Stacey, and I was like, I wonder what the offseason was like for Drake this time around, knowing that you're going to play an even bigger role. Not to say you don't train as hard or whatever, but just mentally, what's it like coming in this year knowing that, you know, you're one of the guys?
I wouldn't say any mindset change with my approach. I feel like my mindset worked for me, and it got me to where I am. So I just keep the same mindset, just underdog mentality, going to work every single day the same way, just with intent and just really trying to improve whatever it is that day, whether it's, workouts in the off season, practice today, just like the same intention every single day, just really focusing on whatever it is in that moment that I'm trying to get better at.
You're wearing a t-shirt that says manager of violence. Jaron, we interviewed Jaron yesterday, who was wearing one. Who started this, and is it all of the defense that's wearing it?
Yeah, it's the defense thing. I don't know who started it.
No offense allowed.
Yeah, no. They kind of like new t-shirts kind of just pop up in our locker sometimes. It's
Nice.
like, this was one of them. And pretty sweet and it's comfortable, so I wear it.
What's the how has this defense changed from last year to this year? I know you can't give specifics, but how have you grown? How's this defense grown?
Just another year playing with each other. That's obviously going to come with growth. You know each other a lot better. You've seen a lot of plays together. You've played the scheme. So just more experience and more continuity with the guys around you. There's going to be growth that comes from that. And then Mike and the defensive staff are constantly chasing, growth. So, I mean, we're always evolving, becoming better version of ourselves. And so, like, the standard is the same throughout the building. They expect the players to do the same. And then amongst the coaches, it's the same thing. They're always chasing to get better.
You're a Super Bowl winner. I imagine life feels, which is cool to say and hear, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine life feels a little different. Have you used being a Super Bowl winning Seahawk to maybe get some nice restaurant reservations? I mean, how is it coming up in day-to-day life? Are you stopped by like a kid going, oh my God?
Yeah, I feel like initially, right after the Super Bowl, it was pretty crazy. Going home, because I didn't get to spend much time in Seattle after the Super Bowl. It was like, Super Bowl, came home for like 2 days. I don't remember what exactly day the parade was on. Was that like Wednesday or Tuesday? Whatever day it was, the next day I packed my stuff and flew home. And so then I'm out of Seattle, but then the support in my hometown was awesome. Just going around and seeing everybody, and it was really cool to see. Or just to feel that support from everybody back home. But yeah.
How much free food and drinks have you gotten?
Quite I don't know if I've gotten a free meal.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't know that I've gotten a free meal. Yeah, not that I can think of. Reservations for sure, So like it's booked out. You call in and just check in to see what they have available, and they end up having something. So
they usually do.
Mm-hmm.
They usually do.
I'm going to try that approach too.
That ain't going to work for you.
Yeah, I'm a linebacker.
I would assume after the season, you go home, you watch film, and you critique yourself and say, all right, well, these are the things I need to work on. What's something you feel like, all right, if I could get sharper here, there's another level I can go to?
The main thing that comes to mind is open field tackling. The defense that we play, my position specifically, I have to play a lot of looks high to low, and there's a lot of space in between me and the check down. So just to be able to improve in that, like, it's a really hard tackle to make. But if I can take that next step and just grow in that area, that's the main thing that comes to mind amongst a bunch of other things. There's so many opportunities. I feel like when I'm watching the films, like, oh, I could have done this little thing better. Like, so many little details that I want to improve on. But that's the first thing that usually I think that pops into mind when you ask that.
The scariest thing in the world for me, I was a returner and a receiver, and we played Auburn, and they did a fake punt, and it's me and the tight end with all that space, man. So I mean it's a lonely feeling, man. If you don't take the right angle, the right step. So I admire you guys when you're out on that island by yourself. I remember that interception you had against the Niners with McCaffrey. I mean, that's kind of being in the same situation, right?
Do you remember what happened on that fake punt?
I just dove at his ankles. I got him down. I didn't look pretty.
Made the tackle?
I made the tackle. I just dove.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
They all count the same.
Mike McDonald's talked about kind of moving it forward. And it sounds like you guys have an interesting relationship with your Super Bowl win, which is you acknowledge it, you are proud of it, but you have to kind of keep that same hunger. How would you describe your process right now as a team? Do you guys talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can't just like ignore something that happened.
Yeah,
you can't.
There's a big poster behind you.
Exactly. You got to acknowledge that stuff, and you got to be grateful for the opportunities that you received, and I don't think you can just like act like it didn't happen. So you got to learn and grow and move forward from it. But you can still reflect and look back and be like, okay, like this is what we did and this worked. So being able to recreate that, but like I think that's the main thing going forward is recreating it and not feeling like we can take shortcuts in the process because we've done it before and we know what it looks like. It's still going to take hard work. Blood, sweat, and tears throughout every single little bit of the process. So we can't change what we do or how we do just because we've been there before. But it is an advantage knowing how we got there and what it took.
Did you have time for yourself? You travel? You do anything for you this offseason?
Yeah, I got married.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I got married, so I went on honeymoon. And then other than that, I bought a house back home. So it was off-season. That was like, it was packed, but like not a whole lot going on, you know what I mean? So I was like, the wedding was big, then we went on the honeymoon, and then it was like the rest of the off season was trying to get situated into the new house.
Right.
So nothing too crazy,
but real grown up stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing too crazy. I just won a Super Bowl, got married, and got a new house.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing too wild.
There was a lot of stuff going on, honestly.
Yeah. How'd you guys meet?
When I was at NC State. Yeah, she was going to a school down the street.
Yeah. Did you propose in a surprise?
Secrets. So she had an idea, but how and where and what and all that stuff, and I surprised her in different ways. Not necessarily that she didn't know that I was going to do it, but how I did it, I surprised her.
Wait, why aren't you good at secrets? Do you just I
don't know.
Are you a gossip fiend?
No, I don't gossip, but like I'm excited for her to know. So like I feel like she's got to know. But I didn't tell her straight up like, look, I'm gonna propose to you down here at this time. Like I didn't tell her that, but I think she just had a feeling just from conversations that we had that
pick it up.
It was like the only free week we had last summer, and yeah, it was really the only time that I was gonna be able to do it.
Yeah. What's your social media intake like, and how much do you keep up with the sports talking heads and their opinions about you guys, the Rams, the Niners, the rest of the league? What's that like for you?
I don't look into much, honestly. Like I don't spend a whole lot of time on social media, I would say. I definitely don't read about what people are writing about us. I think that's a important thing. You don't want to read the good or the bad. You just kind of, because either way, like it's gonna have an effect on you, like whether you want it to or not. So if you're seeking it out or going and reading about what people are saying about our team, or you're like me as an individual, then like you're not helping yourself, whether the stuff is negative or positive. So I try to stay away from all that.
I've always wondered, because when I was playing, like Twitter was just getting going, and I didn't listen to sports talk radio, so it was easy just to kind of be in your own little bubble. With you guys, I mean, the outlets are everywhere, so I always wondered how you guys handle that type of stuff.
Yeah, just try and steer clear of it, honestly, because I feel like it's inevitable to have some type of like emotional reaction to something if you're reading it, you know? Like it's not like you can just read it and be stone cold, like have no emotions or feeling. That's not human.
Right.
So just steering clear of it, I feel like is the best option.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys developed that skill. By that I mean athletes from such a young age, though. I was not a professional athlete. Bump was, and you were a high recruit, and I'm sure that Drake, even when you were like in high school, there were like forums, like people are still talking about you. So like I didn't have to learn, like for our show, maybe we'll get a comment. I didn't learn until I was much older, like, oh, just brush it off. You guys have been doing that since you were teenagers.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, back in high school, you have all the recruiting blogs and stuff like that, and yeah, that's very true. People constantly, since I was probably 16 years old, people writing articles, blogs and stuff that you end up learning. You might buy into it for a little bit when it's, you see good stuff, but you end up learning that it's better to stay away from it.
Yeah. How did Coach McDonald introduce the run it forward to you guys this year?
I think just in the team meeting, like I think he was talking about like how everyone's talking about running it back and what it's going to look like and all this stuff. And he's like, no, like this is what we're doing. So then he put up the new thing and it was run it forward.
Last one, and then we'll let you go. But you got to pick are you watching the NBA Finals?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm going with the Spurs.
Spurs?
That's the question, yeah.
Yeah, it was the question. Any reason?
Wemby.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Wemby's pretty crazy. Just like seeing him on the floor, it's not even so much that I've watched that much basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up watching basketball, and I know basketball well enough. But like I haven't kept up that much. But just seeing him on the floor, it's like in the way he can handle the ball as pretty much like a guard, shoot 3-pointers and get to the basket. He barely has to jump to dunk the ball. He probably doesn't have to jump. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I don't know how anybody can stop
Seems
him.
fake.
Yeah, and then it's like people won't even go into the paint and try him when he's playing defense because he's so big. So they just kick it back out if he's sitting in the paint. So
Sounds like you actually talk a lot of NBA.
I mean, I
Sounds
see
like you're ready
clips
to go.
here and there, and it's
I mean,
like,
I kind of care about it, but Bump, don't you think?
yeah.
He is Drake Thomas, Super Bowl winner Drake Thomas. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory. Going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
Now, before I read you your first question, Bump,
No,
you know
no.
exactly.
No.
Oh, don't say it yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. First down. Who is a team that may not be getting enough attention in the AFC?
Broncos. The Denver Broncos.
That's a good pick.
I just read something about Peyton being like, I think Waddle is really learning our offense. I go, dang, they do have Waddle over there, huh? They have Waddle, went for 906 touchdowns. They still have Cortland Sutton, who went for 1,007 touchdowns. Still got Troy Franklin, who went for 706 touchdowns. And then they added Evan Ingram, tight end, who went for about 400 and a touchdown. I'm like, all right, offensively, they're going to have some weapons. Let's not forget, they drafted Jonah Coleman, who I think could be a nice little 2 or 3. They still have Dobbins, who went for almost 1,400. And then a rookie in R.J. Harvey, who went for 507. They have the 13th, the 15th hardest ranked schedule so far. They're 13th on ESPN's power rankings, but they do have to play the NFC West. So we're going to see what they're made of. But no, the Broncos, man, I think the Broncos are in the Super Bowl if Bo Nix does not get hurt. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, I think you got a rematch with the Seattle Seahawks against the Denver Broncos. Just unfortunate there. But, yeah, man, the Broncos is a team that I don't hear too many people talking about, but I think deserves some recognition.
I was just looking up for you Bo Nix's injury because my automatic reaction when you said that was like, oh, my God, you're right. Last year's number 1 seed out of the AFC, no one's talking about them at all. And then I was like, well, Bo Nix did have a pretty serious injury. I mean, we're talking like had to have surgery, working his way back. And I was like, I wonder if people are down on them because the updates haven't been encouraging or clear. So just to read you the latest, tell me how you'd feel hearing it if you were a Broncos fan. Sean Payton said there was a good chance Bo Nix would practice in June and that the quarterback has made progress in his recovery. This was several weeks ago, obviously, from the fractured ankle suffered in January. I think we'll see him in a role here. I think you'll see him in more of a role. It's vague.
Yes, very.
But I think that's probably what's holding up a lot of people, as you know. I was curious, like, wait, what's up with Bo Nix? Where is he in that recovery?
Where you at, Bo?
Yeah, where are you at? Second down. Oh, I see now why. Who will have an opportunity to make themselves a lot of money this year?
Jahmyr Gibbs. He is his base is going to be about $14 million this year, but Dan Campbell says he's going to be our, what do you call that? Cowbell?
Bell cow.
Bell cow. There we go. Thank you. He's going to be our bell cow. And you got Isaiah Pacheco over there who's going to be backing him up. But if Jahmyr Gibbs has himself a great season where he rushes for over 1,000 yards, has about 600 or 700 yards out the backfield, he can reset the running back market. There's only going to be about 4 or 5 guys who are capable or deserving of that elite running back status. I feel like with wideouts, there's probably like 15 guys who get paid over 20-something million a year when it comes to that spot. But at the running back spot, it's rare. And I think he's that type of guy. He can catch the ball out the backfield. We know what he can do with the rock in his hands. He's just a special dude. He's was drafted in 2023, number 12 overall. You typically don't draft running backs that high. Had 616 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns last year, 1,223 yards, 13 touchdowns running the rock. He's just that type of dude. So we'll see what happens. We talked about this division yesterday, and we both pointed out how just tough it's going to be in the NFC North, man. Is Jordan Love going to do his thing? I got the Bears winning that thing. Can Kyler Murray resurrect his career with the Vikings? And then you have the Detroit Lions over here who are going to be solid, I think. I think last year injuries kind of messed them up. But no, Jahmyr Gibbs has an opportunity to reset that market. Mm-hmm. If he has a season this year that he had last year, he's for sure getting it done. So let's see what he does.
Third down. Anything from Drake Thomas?
Yeah, man, he gave me PTSD when he was talking about open field tackling. Oh, my God, man. I played defense in high school as a safety, but in college, we played Auburn at Auburn, and there was a fake punt. And the guy who ran the fake punt, I was actually teammates with the Seahawks. Like 2 years later, we talked about that play. And he's a big boy. He's a big tight end. Will Ehring was his name. And he's just running downhill. And I haven't tackled anybody in years. And I just dive at his feet and make the tackle. They pick up the first down, but I'm like, hey, at least he didn't score. With Drake, he said open field tackling is going to be something that he wants to get better at. And I automatically went back to that game against the Niners where he intercepts Christian McCaffrey near the goal line. Open field tackling is all about angles. And I think people underestimate how hard it is because as a shifty runner, if you're a McCaffrey, a Kamara, a K9, anybody with some wiggle, all it takes is one false move and you're pretty much gone. You got to be so disciplined and so patient and force everything towards that sideline or else you're going to get got. So for a guy like Drake who plays the position he plays typically like outside the box a little bit, Ernest holds it down inside. That's something that I'm going to be watching for too now to see exactly how much better he's gotten and how he does in that new 32.
I'm thinking of the pressure of in the split second realizing you're the gunner that's like the first guy there.
Yeah.
Going, oh, God.
Yeah.
This is either the tackle or missed tackle that people will see. Fourth down. Bump, to whom do you owe an apology?
I owe an apology to Mr. Brock Heward, the legend himself, the lefty, the king of Puyallup. I apologize. Because at my old age, I guess I don't know how X works. Apparently, he was in the pending pool when it comes to requests. But I didn't know my stuff was private. This whole time, I didn't know. Didn't know my stuff was private. So, man, I could have 100 million more followers right now. You know what I'm saying? I could be up there with Ronaldo.
Yes.
And, with J-Lo and all them. But my stuff is locked. So, you know what? If you're not following me or if you tried to follow me and you haven't been able to, I'm telling myself to get off my own line. Okay? Because my thing is locked. So after this commercial break, Stacey's going to come over to the desktop. She's going to get me right.
He needs tech support.
All right. I need tech support. I sent the email. And we're going to make sure I'm unlocked.
I love the idea of Brock having requested you long ago and talking to you a million times since then and being like, why doesn't this guy follow me?
Right.
Like, why can't I see? Think of how many times the station's retweeted something from you and Brock's like, am I blocked? Why can't I see Bump stuff?
What's going on?
I liked thinking I was Brock's favorite. That makes me sad. But no, he does have a request.
Bump,
out
is
for
this one of the oldest times you've ever felt because you've needed our help with social media?
No, I got kids, man.
you? Yeah.
Hey, I need
They
help
make
with
you
a
feel
lot
old
at the
all
house.
the time.
Hey, man. TV ain't working.
I think what it was.
TV's not working.
I think,
Michael, get in here.
Yeah, I think what did it for me is not necessarily just you being like, oh, can you show me how you got to this? It was you not realizing. Curtis literally going, Bump, do you see your name? How there's a little lock
next
a little
to it.
lock
That means
emoji.
you're private, yeah.
And
why are you gassing? That never happened.
that happened. This is fake news. You're gaslighting me.
Oh, snaps.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's I mean, this is probably top 5 one of the older moments of my life.
Oh, easy.
Top 5.
I can think of a couple others. When you saw that ad for slip-on Skechers and you talked about
You
it
were
for a
kinda
while.
like, hey.
You know someone bought those for my birthday, right?
Yes.
Most comfortable shoes I've ever put on my foot.
Another one when you talked about you didn't respond to us during a big game for a while, and then you go, sorry guys, I fell asleep in my chair. That was a top 5 Bump is old moment.
Hey, that's all right, man. It's a blessing to
It
get
is.
old, you know?
Should we be so blessed?
I'm just riding the wave.
Right.
Riding the wave.
Exactly. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Bump is going to find out how to follow Brock Heward back. And meanwhile, when we come back, the American League is wide open.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
One thing y'all might know about me is that I was pretty nice on the soccer pitch. Yes, Bump here. With football taking over our region this summer, it makes me think back to the love of the sport. I'm excited to hear about our listeners getting into the matches and falling in love with the sport, too. I love hearing from our listeners who make up the trip to Silver Reef Casino Resort. I've been telling you guys it's a hidden gem here in the Northwest. This summer is perfect for a road trip where you can just go to a destination and enjoy. Book a tee time at Loomis Trails Golf Course at silverreefcasino.com. Make a weekend out of it, man. It's book your tee times online. It's easy. The weather is nice. You deserve it. Relax in the deluxe room and enjoy your meal at the steakhouse. Have some fun at their sports restaurant and enjoy the cantina. Authentic Mexican food, the quesadillas, the burritos, everything is on point. Plenty of reasons to go up there, and I haven't even mentioned the spa yet. I've done that too. It's very relaxing. Take your time. Take it easy. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com. That's Silver Reef Casino Resort, silverreefcasino.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder. For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know there is hope. After only 3 weeks of treatment, 86% of patients report a reduction in symptoms. Northwest Ketamine Clinics was the first ketamine clinic in the Northwest, opened 9 years ago. They now have locations in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue, with more than 50,000 treatments given. Find reviews and video testimonials from real patients on their website, including Brandon.
To anyone thinking about giving it a try, if you have depression, ADHD, bipolar, any of those things feel like they would vastly benefit from it.
Everyone's path to healing is different. Schedule a free consultation today to find out if ketamine therapy is right for you. They have immediate availability, so you can get started this week. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy. We are starting the timeline with some news coming out of the East. And I know typically we always hate, like, oh, the Yankees get all the headlines in baseball. But this one's pretty important for the pennant race in the American League. If you thought it was wide open before, and it was, well, it's especially so right now. Aaron Judge has been diagnosed with a stress fracture in his rib. Here's the timeline. He's going to be re-examined in 4 to 6 weeks. Here's the latest from Jeff Passan.
Well, the Yankees, you have to understand, Scott, are a team that is built around pitching. And so I think they're going to be all right in the short term. And in the long term, they're just glad that this was not something worse. There were questions about whether this was potentially thoracic outlet syndrome, which is something that would have required surgery and would have kept Aaron Judge out for the remainder of the season. So I'm never going to say something that keeps you out for a month to a month and a half before being reevaluated is a good thing necessarily, but compared to what it could have been, the Yankees had a sigh of relief tonight.
That said, the good news the Yankees got is still tricky.
Stress fractures are really tricky because you rest, you don't do anything, you hope that it heals, but you just never really know. And the good thing for the Yankees right now is they've actually got some pretty reasonable backups in the outfield. Jason Dominguez is coming back from a long stint on the injured list. He was supposed to start his rehab assignment tomorrow. And Spencer Jones, who looks in size like Aaron Judge at 6'7" and 240 pounds, was not quite as good production-wise his first time in the big leagues as at AAA and could come up to. So it's not like they're going to need to go out and go trade for anyone. And frankly, there aren't a whole lot of guys out on the market right now to trade for. So the Yankees feel like their internal options, as well as Ahmed Rosario, could fill that spot.
Different injury bump, but as you see, kind of a similar reaction to when it was Cal, where it's like it can be kind of tricky, but they're going to get him back this year, and they're not going to trade for someone to replace him because they're getting him back. It's just going to be solved internally. That being said, it makes the race that much more interesting.
Yeah, it does. It's funny. It's not funny. It's ironic that the two of the big dogs, right? Mm-hmm. The guys fighting for the MVP last year are both out with injuries, forcing their team to, adjust and have someone step up. Easier for the Yankees with their roster because of money that's being spent. But this makes it more interesting. I was watching ESPN with my buddy yesterday, and he was like, I don't like that Judge is hurt, but I like that Judge is hurt. And I go, why? He said, well, obviously, we don't want the Yankees to win, but it just opens everything up. Like, everyone else has to step up now. It makes the race a bit more interesting. And I go, yeah, from that perspective, I see where you're coming from. So, yeah, it's we knew something was up. Mm-hmm. We knew something was up. And whether there's anyone who has enough depth to kind of weather the storm, it's probably the Yankees and a couple other teams.
Yes, but filling the void left by Aaron Judge is pretty massive. He hadn't been quite the same, which is to say better than anything. This year he was briefly leading in home runs. I don't know if he still is. It might be Yordan Alvarez. Either way. And then had kind of cooled off. But that's still so much run production that they now have to replace. Now, the Mariners, again, clearly not in the East. But right now, the single best record, Tampa Bay Rays at 36-23, Yankees with 37 wins, 2 more losses, though. Mariners at 33 wins. You're not right behind them. But the way I look at it is none of it matters for the AL West, which I still feel confident the Mariners will win, or I feel encouraged that they'll win. But I think it was so helpful last year, Bump, to skip the wild card round to get home field advantage through most of the playoffs to get that number 2 seed. So to me, if we're going to have all year long a conversation about being a World Series team, it's not just going to be, you did it, you won the AL West. We need to be talking about how to get the 1 and 2 seed.
Yeah, it's you want to make the process as easy as possible. And how do you do that? You take care of business.
Yeah.
I think it really starts, and Curtis pointed this out last week on this road trip right here. 10-game road trip, 2 series we expect you to win, and then one against the Nationals that we'll see. And I obviously you can go into any series expected win because you're that good, but it's all about the setup. If they could win these first 2 series and go to Washington and handle business there, I think you should put yourself at least 2 or 3 games in front. More in front, I should say. Sorry.
The latest example of guys naming random athletes is sweeping the internet. The game 82-0 at 82-0.com has caught fire, taking the sports world by storm. If you haven't heard about it, this is what it is. Oh, God, Curtis. Do you want to?
What is this?
Curtis has it.
So 82-0, it's a game of randomness, and you have to build a starting 5 of NBA players that will go 82-0 in the regular season. And you only find out what the final record of that combined group of 5 is until the very end. So what you do is you hit the spin button, and it gives you a team and an era in which the roster of players played in. So
that's randomly selected.
So here, we'll do the first spin. It is going to give us the Sacramento Kings of the 1990s. And so now you have all 5 starting positions open and available to you. So in the some of the best players of the 90s Sacramento Kings are Mitch Richmond, shooting guard, Chris Webber, who plays center and power forward, Antoine Carr, center power small forward, Wayman Tisdale, a power forward. You've got Danny Ainge, who can play both point guard and shooting guard, Kenny the Jet Smith, a point guard. So you can stay on the Sacramento Kings of the 90s, make your pick, or you can either randomize the team again or randomize the era again. So, do we want to stick with the Sacramento Kings of the 1990s?
Randomize the era.
Randomize the era. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're sticking with the Kings, and now it gives us the 2010s. So the Sacramento Kings of the 2010s.
This is where it gets you.
And now we cannot randomize the era again as we try to build out our starting 5. We can still randomize the team.
Okay.
Sacramento Kings of the 2010s, DeMarcus Cousins, who only has center eligibility. Kevin Martin, point guard and shooting guard. Rudy Gay, power forward and small forward. Tyreek Evans, who is a point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. Buddy Hield, small forward and shooting guard. Isaiah Thomas, point guard.
My approach has been most points per game, and I just choose that guy.
I mean, DeMarcus Cousins is probably the best of this group.
Yeah.
So we'll go
We're drafting
DeMarcus
him.
Cousins as our center.
Okay.
The next spin gives us the Golden State Warriors of the 60s. Unfortunately, the best player in this game is Wilt Chamberlain from the 1960s Golden State Warriors. We can't use him, though, because we just used DeMarcus Cousins as
Oh,
center.
no. I'm
Dang.
sorry. I messed up our starting 5.
No, there's still a good pick for this 1960s Warriors team because Rick Barry averaged 30 and 10 throughout that decade. So he's probably going to be your small forward. All right. So we got right now two of our starting 5, DeMarcus Cousins and Rick Barry.
I already know we're not 82-0.
Definitely not.
What's next?
Let's see here. We've got the Hawks of the 1970s. Pete Maravich at shooting guard. Lou Hudson, small forward, shooting guard. A guy by the name of Truck Robinson at power forward. We can't. We already used it.
What?
We can spin to pick another team of the 70s.
I say we just go with Rick Barry and then see what and make moves after that.
Okay,
so we could go Pete Maravich here. It's not bad. I think DeMarcus Cousins and Rick Barry are pretty good. Rick Barry averaged 30 and 10 through a whole decade.
Yeah.
Won a championship.
Hey,
don't yell at me.
stop
Rick.
looking at his skin color.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
That's profiling, Stacy. Our next team is the Indiana Pacers of the 2000s.
Okay.
Peja Stojakovic, Jalen Rose, Jermaine O'Neal, who has power forward eligibility, Mike Dunleavy Jr., Steven Jackson, Meta World Peace. We already have filled out center, small forward, and shooting guard. Reggie Miller. This is old Reggie Miller, by the way, not 90s.
What was he averaging, like 21?
In the 2000s, he was averaging 15.
Dang.
Yeah. So we've got a power forward and a point guard still open.
You pick.
Jermaine O'Neal, probably.
Okay, last one.
All right, last one. I don't think this team's going 82-0.
No.
Last one, we could go with the Memphis Grizzlies of the 2010s. We need a point guard, or we could randomize the team again and pick another point guard from the 2010s.
Randomize.
Yeah. There are a couple teams out there where it's like, you don't want them.
Yeah.
Milwaukee in the 2010s. Now, here's an interesting wrinkle in this. Giannis has point guard eligibility. There we go. Okay.
We're not going 82-0 anyway. So
we're not. We finished with a record of 66-16, so still pretty good. Not bad.
Not bad. So, anyways,
a respectable roster.
Send me that link.
It sounds like here's the thing. This sounds like an ad for 82-0, and it's not. It is not an ad. We're not being paid by 82-0. But when I tell you that, like, 3 separate threads that I have, that's like a fantasy football thread, the work thread, just people being like, I've been playing this all day.
It's a great
I'm not
waste
working
of time.
anymore. Yeah, I'm not working anymore. It's Friday. I've been playing 82-0 since noon. That's what everyone's day has become. Okay, so that's enough of that. Curtis letting us all know.
Yeah, our starting lineup, Giannis, Pete Maravich, Rick Barry, Jermaine O'Neal, DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah. If anyone has gotten 82-0, let us know.
I've gotten it once.
And how many times do you think you've played this game?
I've played it hundreds of times.
Have you seen your children in the last 24 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. But yeah, can't stop playing it. All right, Mariners insider Shannon Drayer joining us at noon. Don't go anywhere.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Drayer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Welcome to IRG Sports Injury Update. We're with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, and our guest, Julie Mahler, a registered dietitian and nutritionist at IRG.
Julie, welcome. Hey, a lot of stuff in the media literature talking about inflammation, body inflammation. You're a registered nutritionist. Tell us about the anti-inflammatory diet.
Shannon, the anti-inflammatory diet is so powerful because it can help a person decrease that inflammation in their body just through the foods that they eat. And it's not just like it can be through diabetes or rheumatoid arthritis, that it's those foods that can help improve those conditions, but also if you have sore muscles, or let's say you're in physical therapy and you're working on a body part, the food can help you make progress faster. It's an additional helpful tool. And so you can eat less of those pro-inflammatory foods, maybe salts and sugars, and you can eat more of those anti-inflammatory foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, things like that.
What you're saying, Julie, is that certain foods will enhance or cause inflammation and certain foods will decrease inflammation.
Absolutely, Shannon. And in addition, your immune function or your immune system is also very similar to that anti-inflammatory situation where those same foods can improve your immune function and improve your inflammation.
Julie, you did a webinar for IRG. You had over 100 people attend it. So we know there's an interest in the anti-inflammatory diet. How would people get a hold of you?
They can contact me via irgpt.com. I see patients both virtually and in person at our South Everett office.
Find Julie at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
With over 40 neighborhood clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Dave Wyman here with an interesting story. A woman was about to donate a box of jewelry, but her friend told her, take it to Bellevue Rare Coins first. She walked out with a check that far exceeded her expectations. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. It's worth finding out what those items are worth during such a strong market. Before you give anything away, get it checked out at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma. Go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Around the Diamond is sponsored by Klein Jewelers.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Quickly, time for the IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Cal Raleigh is scheduled to begin a rehab assignment with Single A Everett on Sunday. He'll DH. Then he's expected to play for AAA Tacoma starting Tuesday, June 9th. So a long, extended rehab assignment here, which is good news. Also good news is that despite ending that series against the Mets with a loss bump, the Mariners, as we know, and as we've been talking about, were able to rattle off 8 wins in a row, the hottest team in baseball. I was talking with Mike Salk earlier about the biggest reason for the improvement. I won't tell you what he said. It surprised me a little bit. It's not what came to mind for me. So if I were to ask you, what's the single biggest reason for the Mariners having a much better start to June, but also improving in late May? That 8-game stretch. What's the
this is
reason?
a trick question.
No, it's not.
There's no single thing.
I would never trap you with a trick question.
There's no single thing. The thing that I like the most is just the long ball.
Okay.
Hitting bombs, because they weren't supposed to be this team a couple years ago that hit bombs, and then it's transformed into that team. They're like, okay, well, this is who they are now. And seeing Julio get hot, seeing Luke leads the team in bombs. No one really talks about that enough. Seeing Randy sprinkling his little 2 cents every now and then. To me, that's my favorite reason, I'll say, because I always feel like they're in the ball game. If they can just get a runner or 2 on base, or if they can just be down a couple runs, one swing of the bat, and you are back in this thing. So I would have to look at the long ball, man. I think the long ball has been my favorite reason why they're still in this thing.
So that's my answer too. You and I are of one mind when it comes to both what we've seen most during the stretch and what we genuinely go. It's hard not to look at the home runs, timely home runs especially. And even if quite a few of them are solo shots, doesn't matter. Your pitching's been good enough that that's all you need. That's a DNA of Mariners baseball. Cool with it. You are not going to play small ball. You are not going to get a ton of contact, not like the Toronto Blue Jays did last year, leading the league in hits. That's just not who you are as a team. It's not how you're built. But if your pitching is as good as it should be, a couple home runs that are timely enough is enough. So it's what I've also loved most. He said his answer, like just without thinking, he was like Colt Emerson. If you were to look at one thing, he said Colt's OPS is like double that of Leo Rivas, which is pretty crazy.
He said Colt Emerson, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The one reason. And that's the way you phrase the question?
The biggest reason.
Biggest reason. Okay. I mean, I can see that. I can see why he would say that. The more production you get from the bottom of the lineup, especially with this team, the better you're going to be. That's what most teams, right? Guys batting 7, 8, 9, you're hoping they get on base, and the top of the order hopefully drives them in. But with Colt, he's got a couple doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. He's been not just contributing, he's been kind of leading the charge at the bottom. And then you combine that, what's been great about this too is that you got Colt batting the 9th spot who's doing his thing. Then you flip it right to JP, who's been hot. Like JP's hitting for more power. He's on pace to hit more home runs than he has in his whole career in a single season. 19, I believe, is his mark. He's at 10 right now. Why not? And JP coming off all the drama that he went through too to get to where he is now, mentally and physically, I think that's awesome. So I'm not mad at Salk with saying Colt Emerson. I didn't expect him to say that.
I didn't either, but I liked it. And I also liked another thing he said. That's the second thing. I'm doing kind of a Mariners roundtable here. I have 3 things. This is the second. The third is not from Salk. The second thing is we both talked about whether or not we would make a deal for Tarik Skubal. And I think both of us felt like yes, because we were like, a rental, if it gets you to a World Series, is worth it. You're in a window, get the World Series. Even if you're not able to keep him, you kind of have to seize the moment. Like, both of us were on board with, like, we understand why you'd make that trade and in theory would make it. However, I felt more open to doing it now, whereas he said, I just need to see more from this team. So my understanding was like, look, I think this team's closer to a World Series if they have Tarik Skubal. And Mike was like, the 8-game win streak was great. I don't know that I feel that way strongly. Like he just needs to see more from this team. So I'm going to kind of flip it into a question for you, which is not necessarily do you agree, but what do you need to see from this team to make you more optimistic that they should be aggressive at the deadline, that they can actually get it done this year, that they have a real shot at being a contender? And I don't just mean because the AL West is bad, which is what we always say. I mean like true belief.
Cal coming back and looking healthy and looking like the Cal that we know. I think that's what's cool about this is they're on this run and Cal hasn't contributed. And it's almost like you're getting something at the deadline, just with Cal coming back, with Donovan coming back. So I think there's nothing with this team I look at and, you got to get better at this spot. You got to get better there. I think the bats are more than capable when hot. I think the arms are more than capable. I think defensively they're good. I think we're sitting back and waiting for the guy who hit 60 bombs to look like an all-star again. And if he can come in and just contribute at a steady clip, I think that's what's going to put them over the top. Right now, I don't think there's something that they desperately need. Would I look at Skubal? For sure, because you don't get a chance like that every day to grab a player of his caliber. But I'm not getting to the trade deadline as of now and thinking they're desperate for this guy or this position.
So let's go to the last one here. What if it's not Skubal? Adam Jude's latest for the Seattle Times argues that the Mariners should instead make a different move that also gets them closer to a World Series. He says, how about dealing for Byron Buxton? Adding a bat.
I mean, Buxton is nice.
Would you feel, I'll say this, would you feel better about the team adding Byron Buxton without giving up nearly as much? Or giving up a ton for Skubal, knowing he won't stay here?
I'd still feel like he's 32. He'd be a rental as well.
But a less costly one.
Yeah. And
he's actually, Buxton signed through 28.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got a couple more years of him.
I feel a lot better with that.
Okay.
A lot more better with
your
Buxton.
team,
a lot more
your
better.
team Byron Buxton.
We're going to put him. He's going to DH, no? He ain't playing center.
Right field.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it solves your constant.
You have kind of a righty-lefty platoon with Buxton and maybe Luke Raley out in right field.
So, which is fine, but then it kind of eliminates the whole like Raley, Ref Snyder constant.
Dom's been more of a DH lately.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I feel better with Buxton. A lot more better.
Something to track moving forward. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners start a 3-game series against the Tigers this afternoon. Pregame starts at 2:30 p.m. First pitch at 3:40 p.m. on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Let's stick with the Mariners with Mariners insider Shannon Drayer next.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
Hi, Andy Klein here. There's something special about a baseball game. The moments and the memories. At Klein Jewelers, that's exactly how we feel about our diamonds. They're a beautiful reminder of life's biggest moments. We're here to help you find the perfect diamond or beautiful piece of jewelry to celebrate your engagement, anniversary, birthday, promotion, or just because. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Shine with Klein.
On October 3rd, Snohomish PUD is hosting the first ever Community Energy Run at the Water Operations Center in Lake Stevens, located on the scenic Centennial Trail. It's a family-friendly 5K where every step supports the Community Energy Fund, helping local families keep the lights on when times get tough. Join the Community Energy Run on October 3rd. Learn more at snowpud.com/run.
Play with purpose, compete fairly, track progress. Michael Bump is here. A golf handicap does more than just keep score. It helps you enjoy the game more. 1, it helps you set goals that match your actual skill level. 2, it makes competition fun and fair no matter who you're playing with. And 3, it lets you track your progress so you can measure improvement over time. It only takes 3 18-hole rounds to establish your handicap index. Just sign up for a handicap ID, post your scores, and get started. Learn more at wagolf.org/710.
At Dunn, relationships are everything. It's why we build a culture around building the best relationships possible, building joy and trust, one interaction at a time. So whether you need trusted advice, help with material selection, project planning, or loading your vehicle, we go the extra mile to remove as much of the hassle as we can. If there's anything we can do to serve you better, contact me personally, Mike Dunn at dunlumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you buy a new vehicle from Lee Johnson, you'll get a lifetime powertrain warranty included.
I have the power!
Masters of the Universe has arrived in IMAX.
Does it feel good?
Critics agree it's the most fun you'll have at the theaters this summer. It's hugely entertaining.
Wow.
A nostalgic blast. It truly has the power.
Let him do his thing.
Experience it on the biggest screen possible.
How does it feel to be the mighty warrior?
Pretty great. Masters of the Universe, rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now playing in premium large formats in IMAX.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Spring Classic collector car, truck, and boat auction. Saturday, June 6th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and Cruising Into Summer is back at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and so are some of the biggest acts in entertainment. Bingo Loco taking over Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel on Saturday, May 30th. Think bingo, but with DJs, dance-offs, prizes, and a full-on party vibe. Then Master Mentalist Colin Cloud brings his hit show, Colin Cloud Mastermind, to the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel Ballroom Saturday, June 13th. You won't believe your eyes. Tickets on sale now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners start a 3-city road trip tonight in Detroit with a 3:40 p.m. first pitch against the Tigers. It's Brian Wu against Framber Valdez. Pregame show starts at 2:30 p.m. on Seattle Sports, 7:10 a.m. and the Seattle Sports app. It's Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight between the Knicks and Spurs. Tip-off at 5:30 p.m. on ABC. Knicks up 1-0.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Joined now by Mariners insiders Shannon, Drayer, and Shannon, the Mariners win streak came to an end. Unfortunately, season's over. It's not. But there was a lot to love about it. I was talking with Mike Salk earlier, and he asked me, hey, what stood out to you, or why do you think that stretch happened? And I said, hitting home runs, just the first thing that came to mind. And he said he felt Colt Emerson was like the single most important or notable thing to that stretch. What do you think about that?
I think it was a lot of things. I think absolutely home runs. I think Colt, yes, he is injecting a little bit of energy out there, bringing a little bit of stability in the infield, although he's had a couple of bobbles, and he's going to begin with. But I think that it helps that when you have guys who can kind of set the example and have a plan and that they can stick with that plan, it just really helps with what they're trying to do, particularly if it's at the bottom of the lineup. And he's been a steady force at the bottom of the lineup, and you're starting to see him take steps forward at this level. And that's exciting for everyone. So I do think that he has been a part of it, and I do know that they've very much enjoyed celebrating his successes. And, you know, he's had a couple of the beer showers, and they're excited about what he's able to do. But I think to look at any one thing, I think you're missing a lot, or I think that they should be of equal importance. Starting pitching was out of its mind for the majority of that streak. The bullpen is complete. You can't use them completely yet because Spire and Brash you still have to be careful with. But with what the starting pitching was giving them, they were never put in a bad position in that streak. And that just shows you how important that starting pitching is. It impacts everything. It gets you off to a good start. You get a little attitude from your starter if he's feeling it early. If they can go deeper in the game, you use less bullpen. Bullpen gets less tired. It gives you every opportunity when they are doing what they're doing. And then I do think the crazy thing was the home runs. And for it to happen at home, and for them now, at first it was just a week in the streak, and now it's over 10 days. They've hit the most home runs in baseball. Pretty crazy thing to see. Now, in Detroit, that's going to change a little bit. This is not a home run park. And so I think it'll be interesting to watch and see how they evolve there. But I think they played for what they are right now, and with the pieces that they have missing, about as good as you could have hoped they would when you started out and you put this group together.
Shannon, you mentioned Detroit not having a home run type of ballpark. Do you think this team is capable of evolving, and how do they do that on the road?
Yeah, well, you can't tailor your game to parks. You know, that's something that I kind of thought, is that something you can do? You all of a sudden start to play a little bit of small ball or things like that. Yeah, you can manage that way, but a hitter's not going to alter what he does when he goes to a different park. So that's why you just need to be well-rounded and do everything right. That's why you don't try to hit home runs. It's when everything is going right, the home runs happen. So, in this game, you can be trying to emphasize thinking, about maybe a little bit more up the middle and the other way. And I don't think they're thinking hitting home runs. I think that was a result of where they were at. But, for me, I think we need to see, and we did see it within that stretch, more of this is where you're going to need to pass the baton games. And we saw them, we saw games that they won when they had, innings where they were able to run 5, 6, 7, 8 hitters to the plate, and they might have only been hitting singles and sac flies and things like that, but that scored the runs. We also need to see them in that case, if it's not going to be the home run ball, score in multiple innings. We saw them do that better than we'd see them do it previous this season, also in that stretch. So I think you just have to, lean on what you are and what you're supposed to be and your fundamentals when you go out there, and you've got a shot. So in other words, I'm just saying, play good baseball, play good offense, do the things that you were doing at home, and hopefully, and probably a little bit more when it comes to runners in scoring position, and a little bit more when it comes to, getting the base runners on base. But I don't think we're in danger of that's all they think they can do right now is go out and hit home runs. I think that was just a byproduct of them doing a lot of other good things.
We talked yesterday, Bump and I, about some of the big decisions the Mariners would eventually have to make this season. That could be, next week to months from now, right? Like your backup catcher spot, what happens at third base, and how you work in Donovan, outfielders, etc. What decision to you that the Mariners will inevitably have to make is the most fascinating?
Well, I think it is that whole mix. And it's funny because it's the more you think about it, they ideally, and the way they were built was to move people around when Colt Emerson came up. And I think that they're going to probably have to do that, in which case I think that's maybe, a reason that you're going to be much more careful in bringing Donovan back. And I think we've talked about this a couple of times before, and I finally heard somebody else say it. It might have been Passan. This team needs to start thinking a little bit like the Dodgers. And it's obviously, they're not the Dodgers. They don't have the games behind them. They don't have the resources that the Dodgers have, but they do have surpluses in positions. And the Dodgers do this kind of thing all the time. And, they don't worry when a pitcher or starter goes down and they usually have a few starters on the IL because they're building more for the second half. So they're very careful and very deliberate in how they bring people back. And the same thing can be said in the field. And I think that you are seeing that, and I think that you've seen that with, players that they've been very careful with and have been very prized. But right now, you have the luxury. I was very encouraged to hear that Cal Raleigh's plan, the plan that they have for Cal Raleigh, it's not going to be 2 or 3 rehab games. It's going to be a couple at Everett, a week at Tacoma, and then reassess. So there's no rushing going on there. It's not just need to get a couple hacks and I'll be back up there. That, it doesn't sound like a lot, but a week is significant. And so I think that when it comes to Donovan, I think you want no questions. And I think that's going to take a lot to get him there, with the things that he's trying to do. He spoke of he needs to do things differently, even in the batter's box right now to preserve the health of the core and that area that he had the surgery. And so for me, that's something that I don't think you just change overnight. And when you see that he is, out in the field and the way that he's going through the progression of some of the things that he's doing, it looks very deliberate and very careful to me. So if they are able to get him to a spot where they can move him around, then it's going to be a situation where they're going to have to kind of figure out what they do between the infield and now that right field platoon and how that works out and using the DH spot where they can. And somebody's going to have to sit, probably not all the time, but it's going to be rotated through. And somebody is going to probably, see a significant fewer at-bats. But I think we've mentioned this before, when they get to that point, their bench is going to be that much stronger. And at that point, I think that person's job becomes more being focused on being that bat off the bench, being the pinch hitter. And it's going to be whoever it is, somebody that's done some good things so far this year. So, just looking at that, it's going to be, I think, a constant juggling act. And, it's almost going to be like the piggyback of the infield, outfield, I think. And, its communication is going to be huge in that. But when you look at it, you have the flexibility. Donovan can move around. Colt Emerson can move around. And then the outfielders obviously can move around a little bit too. JP is working on perhaps moving around. I mean, maybe we do see that given time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but it's going to be, I think, a challenge if you want all of these players to play and get a significant amount of at-bats.
Shannon, you mentioned a surplus of talent, which is always good. It allows you to make some moves if you need to make moves. Do you feel like there's something missing from this team as it stands right now?
Not if they're all healthy. I mean, everybody is going to say, you can always take more pitching. They're just going to hold off on that. I do think, actually, smaller areas, yes. If you're going for the postseason, another leverage in the arm in the bullpen would be huge. I would never turn that down. Never. Bullpens are huge to what they do. And you look at what's happened against left-handed pitching. And if they're at full force and healthy, I'm not sure what you do there. If they're not, if there's an opportunity to bring somebody in that can help there, then you look at that. But right now, they don't really have that, assuming Cal's coming back, assuming Donovan is coming back, and we're trying to find places for everybody that is there to start with. So I think that's worth taking a look at. I think that would be very hard to find at the deadline. What shouldn't be very hard to find at the deadline is a good bullpen arm. So that is something that I would keep an eye for.
What kind of impact does the Aaron Judge injury have on the American League race?
Well, the Yankees with Judge and the Yankees without Judge statistically have been very different the last few years. So I think it's going to give those in the East a chance to catch up. I don't know that the Mariners, I think it's too early to forecast where everything is going to end, but I think it's just going to make the American League that much more. Anybody could win it. It weakens a top team. It gives hope to the teams in that division, and perhaps that impacts the trade deadline a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. But, that's a tough blow for New York. They obviously need the MVP, and they got other players who do good things too, but, he is their captain and very much the captain. And he's going to have to be focused on, getting rest and healing that. And it's going to be frustrating too. Those are injuries that you don't know how long it is going to take. When they said it could be 4 to 6 weeks and then we assess, that means he's out a while because it's going to take a time to build up from there. So I think it's a blow for the American League, and the American League has been down this year, and now it's down even further, but that could open doors for others.
It's been fun to see the start that Julio has had to his season. And I keep reminding myself, Shannon, he's still a young man, though, right? He's been around the league with 4 or 5 seasons, but he's still young and still growing. Have you seen him grow when it comes to leadership, or does he pretty much have the same approach he's had over the past couple seasons?
I'm actually trying to dig into that right now. And it's not something you can go in one day and take a look. You have to look at the history, and then you have to talk to people, and you have to watch it day to day and what you see in that. And I do think that we are seeing a different kind of leadership. There are times when I know that he has talked to players. Some have been young, like telling Cole Young at the end of last season, "Hey, bro, we need you. Gonna need to, let's put some weight on. Let's get through the season next year." And it's an encouragement, and it's also a great direction to point him in, and also I think gives Cole the opportunity to really feel a part of it when Julio Rodriguez comes up to him after his first year and talks to him like that. I think that he has talked to teammates sometimes in different situations and games and things like that. But I think the overwhelming thing that he does is he brings kind of the swagger to this team. He brings the confidence. He carries himself with that. He brings a just undying belief that this is the group and they're going to do great things. And at times it feels silly, and then at other times you look at it and Well, somebody needs to stand up and say that. Somebody needs to have that belief. And if it's coming from Julio, how does that rub off on the rest of the clubhouse? If they need it coming from him, that is a great place for it to come from. So I think that in large part, some of his leadership is vocal and one-on-one, but another huge part of his leadership, I think, is just that confidence and always carrying it.
What are we watching for last one here in this series against the Tigers?
You guys hit on it earlier. It's can they adapt? Again, you don't try to do it, but how do they perform, assuming that they're not going to have the home runs that they had last week? And so that's a big one right there. You got the lefty today, and then they don't have a lot of lefties coming up after that. So that's going to give them an opportunity to kind of settle in with at least that side of the platoon. And then the guys on the other side will get a little bit more accustomed to, okay, now pretty much more one role, and that's coming off the bench. It's a long stretch, so bullpen usage is going to be important. The Tigers, I'm not sure what we're going to see. They started out very hot the first few weeks of the season. Tarik Skubal went down, and then they've been one of the worst teams in baseball since then. But, of course, they're coming off a sweep of the Rays as they head into the Mariners series. So I'm really not sure what we will see there. I mean, they've had struggles at home as well, so perhaps the Mariners get them where they want them. So I think it's going to be an interesting series to see how this kind of, if the Tigers are starting to take off and how the Mariners translate what they did at home to the road.
She is Mariners insider Shannon Drayer. Make sure you're checking out seattlesports.com and the Seattle Sports app for the latest. Thanks, Shannon.
You got it, guys.
Have a good one. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline Rewrite.
Must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump Stacy.
Headline number one, the Mariners begin a 10-game road trip with 3 against the last-place Tigers. That series starts today. What's the real headline?
A sweep of the Tigers puts you closer to Tarik Skubal in a Mariners uniform.
Ever think about that?
Ever think about that?
I have thought about it a lot, actually, the past couple of days.
Especially the last couple of hours.
What it would take to make that happen. Do you want a rental? Are you all in? I'm bad at poker. I can't keep a straight face. When I get something good.
You start giggling.
I'm just like, I just light up. I light up when I get a good hand.
You just wait until you guys see this.
I'm better at online poker because you can't see me. But
that makes sense. Yeah.
This feels like a gamble. It would feel like a gamble. Not a gamble that you need to take, but a gamble that you could take. It's like walking into the casino and you said, man, I made like a couple grand last night off these tables. Like, all right, I'll throw 500 down on black. When you really should just keep that money. That's what it feels like. So I have the money to do it, but I probably shouldn't. But if I hit, everyone's eating for free tonight. That's the way I feel.
Just explained gambling addiction.
That's what it feels like with Skubal. It feels like you made some money, you can afford to lose some, but do you really want to do it?
Now, worth mentioning that since we're all talking about Tarik Skubal, who will feels like everyone assumes be available at the deadline. Adam Jude came out with his latest for the Seattle Times, looking at instead Byron Buxton being a target that the Mariners should acquire, and you, Bump, became kind of convinced.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, well, and less to surrender.
And you have control for a couple of years too. And Buxton's stance is very unique to me too. Have you seen him in the box? It reminds me of a boxer from Mike Tyson Punch-Out. Forgot exactly who it was. If someone can make that correlation on sex signs, let me know. But Buxton's stance reminds me of a character on Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Headline Rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Knicks look to go up 2-0 on the Spurs in tonight's Game 2 of the NBA Finals. What's the real headline?
The Spurs need Wemby to be an absolute alien monster to win this one. Which, good news, he is.
Alien monster.
What do the Spurs actually need to do to get this one?
They need to first. Wemby just needs to be a presence in the paint again. Like there are times where he deters guys from shooting shots, but there are a couple rotations that I saw where he looked tired and he's not moving, and he should have at least 10 to 15 attempts from the paint when it comes to offensively. He needs to control that, man. It's his superpower. You're the longest wingspan we've ever seen in this game. use it on offense and on defense. And then you got to find a way to slow down Big Body Bronson. He is just a crafty little 6'2" guy.
I know that there's only been one game in the series. Did that game influence at all who you guys think will win or a strong opinion on either of these teams? Or did you kind of know going into this or feel going into this, like, I think the Knicks are going to get it done?
I claimed the Unks before the series. I think the Unks are going to get it done. But I think this goes... I think the Spurs win this one, and then after that, Knicks is rallying.
I was worried, at least in game one with Jalen Brunson, everyone was left, and you're just like, oh.
Do you think Victor Wembanyama calls his teammate Julian Sparkling Winey instead of Julian Champagne? Cracked myself up with that one. That's a good one because he's French.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah.
Curtis is actually like dying laughing. I hate it so
got it out.
much.
It was one of those ones you could barely get it out.
Yeah. Did you worry you wouldn't be able to land it?
I did.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
Uh-huh.
Matt, can we go to the next one, please?
See, it's funny because the
No, I
French
got
are
it. Yeah.
awfully pretentious
No,
about
yes.
champagne and
Yeah.
sparkling wine.
Yeah, no, and then whiny.
And his name is Champagne.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Headline number 3.
You won't even be able to get it out.
The Carolina Hurricanes won an instant classic last night against the Vegas Golden Knights. They had 3 third-period goals and then had a game winner in overtime. They were down 2-0 heading into the third period. Stanley Cup Finals tied at 1 game apiece heading back to Vegas. What's the real headline?
It'll be interesting to see if a hurricane can touch down in a landlocked city. Curtis, would you like to explain that?
So there's no water
Right.
around the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
Landlocked. Hurricanes, you need water.
Folks, this is how we got to number 1.
You learn something new every day.
The whole show is just explaining jokes we've just made. And I think that that's how you know they're good, how they're really good jokes.
So.
Yeah, those are the best ones.
Any thoughts on the Stanley Cup Finals, Bump? You're going to be glued on the Knicks.
It's I am, but it's been just intense, man. This whole NHL playoffs has been dope, man. I've seen teams score within 30 seconds and still lose by 5 goals.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen teams down and score shorthanded. I've seen, whatever type of situation you've asked for in this Stanley Cup playoffs, you've gotten it. It's just been fun to watch, man.
I have 2 things to get back to, both from the text line. One, getting back to the NBA Finals. John in Eugene says, doubting the Spurs again. Huh, Bump? Spurs are winning this in 6.
Okay. I think they can.
Wow. John and Eugene calling you out.
I'm going to bookmark this tweet.
I did say I didn't think the Spurs would even make the playoffs this year because they were bottom 3 in the West last year.
Yeah, they've been bad for a while.
Yeah, so they are way ahead of schedule according to me. But, no, I think they can win. I just think the grittiness of the Knicks is going to get it done.
A second thing to get back to, you mentioned that you're really bad at poker because you can't hide your hand. And then Curtis made a joke about you giggling at a poker table, which we all laughed at. You've been invited to someone's Friday poker game.
Oh, nice.
They said cigars and whiskey for the boys with a Z only. Boys only. Boys only. No girls
Boys
allowed.
with a Z?
No girls
Yeah,
allowed.
let's go.
Dang, I wish I could go.
Where is this place? You're going to say somewhere like Bainbridge Island or
Somewhere you have to take a boat to.
Deep. It's going to be deep, watch. If it's within Snohomish County, maybe King.
I bet there's going to be a lot of 82-0 getting played at that poker night.
There's going to be some 20-0 getting played.
Oh, man.
Yo, this is going to be a bar game for me. Me and my boys now. I'm going to get after it.
We've already had listeners text in and say the same thing, Bump, where they're like, hey, thanks, because I haven't been working for 40 minutes.
Right.
I've just been playing this. And I feel like the harder I try, the worse my team is.
The harder you try.
You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, this time I'm really going to get it. And
You
maybe
can't
your
try
first pick.
harder in this game.
Well, no, but I'm
You're
saying
at the
like
mercy of
the spin.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess I'll say I'm in a downward spiral where each of my last 4 rosters have been finished with a worse record than the one before.
Yeah. Curtis got an 82-0 the last 10 minutes.
I did, yeah.
I just did 55.
Closest I've been is 67 wins.
My best one was my first. I did 18-2 on the 20-0.
For the NFL one?
Yeah.
Not bad.
That one's also really fun, but it just takes longer. You go all
20
offense.
spins. I mean, you got
That's
to
a
carve
lot.
out some time for this.
Yeah.
The beauty of 82-0 is it's just 5.
My challenge is for no one to do the spin again for teamer era. just go
The ethical way.
The ethical, play a clean game. To play a clean game of 82-0 and still get 82-0, I think that's really difficult.
That's impressive.
I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever done it in human history, but we'll find out. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Taking a look around the NFL next.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Drayer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle Sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Totally rad and totally Snohomish PUD. Slash energy costs and upgrade your crib with rebates on windows, insulation, heat pumps, water heaters, smart thermostats, and so much more. Since 1980, Snohomish PUD has been stoked to help customers save energy and money. Discover rebates and no-cost energy tips at snowpud.com/rebates.
How you do one thing is how you do everything. And for 104 years, Wayscarf Ford has treated their customers a very special way, the Wayscarf way. Stacy here, and I personally felt that. I've driven my new Ford Bronco from Wayscarf Ford for over a year. I love it. Getting it was exciting and stress-free, but each time I brought it in because of a minor bumper service, their team has been friendly and polite. They explain that each vehicle they sell includes a complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty. It covers your engine, transmission, rear end, and also seal and gaskets for any of those components. If it's a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive like my Bronco, the warranty covers the transfer case as well. They also have a 5-day or 500-mile, 100% money-back guarantee. I always leave Wayscarf Ford with a smile on my face, and you should too, with rates as low as 3.99 on approved credit and no payments until football season to help you save even more. It's the family discount, and it's only at Wayscarf Ford in Auburn. WayscarFord.com.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Improve your play with 25% off windows and doors or 12 months, no interest and no payments. We're also giving back to the community with 2 $5,000 scholarships for our local youth sports teams. Upgrade your home today at PellaPNW.com.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Dave Wyman here, brand new member of Harborstone Credit Union, and I got my PNW cashback checking account for free. No fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. Gas, groceries, coffee, travel, lunch, all categories count toward your cashback. Open your free account online like I did. Go to harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 30 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. For 24 years, my team and I at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar have called Bellevue home. We serve fresh, locally sourced seafood, farm fresh produce and poultry, and great steaks. At Sea Star, we like to say there's something for everyone, from the carnivore to the pescatarian to the vegetarian. Come see for yourself at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue. SeaStarRestaurant.com, SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Mariners and Tigers today in the Motor City. First pitch at 3:40, pregame at 2:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Your property is almost perfect, if it wasn't for that troublesome tree or stump. Stop looking at it and mowing around it. P&D Tree Service will remove it for you. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, a small yard, or land clearing, P&D Tree will do it safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees and stumps away from homes, leaving a clean yard to enjoy. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Another holdout. Baker Mayfield this time, taking a look around the NFL, has given the Buccaneers a deadline of training camp, end of July, to get a new deal done. He's currently playing on a 1-year deal worth up to $27 million. Next year's quarterback franchise tag is around $50 million. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero says it's hard to figure out where a Mayfield contract really lands.
Where does he fall in the hierarchy of quarterback contracts? Should he be in the Daniel Jones category, which I think is like $44 million per year? Should he be closer to the Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence type money, which is like low 50s? Should he, based upon how much the cap has exploded in the last 3 years, be closer to Dak Prescott at $60 million? That's a huge variance, Rich. The Bucs have to make decisions in terms of how they're setting up their cap, how they're paying other players on the team, some of the contracts that they are going to have coming up with young players, because Jason Light and his staff continue to draft really well on a year-in, year-out basis. The intent is there from all appearances with the Bucs to get something done with Baker Mayfield. But if you're talking about, hey, should he be bumped up to 40-something million or should he be closer to 60 million, that is a really wide berth, and they're going to have to figure out over the next 6 weeks or so if they can close that gap.
I love this type of conversation. And I know that, like, Bump, there might not be a ton of people that are like, I love Baker Mayfield discourse. But really, this is about the middle-class quarterback discourse. Mm-hmm. And it complicates a lot.
I think he needs to be in between. He needs to be where Danny Dimes is, honestly. $44 million, I think he's worth that. It goes Danny at 44, this is at per year. Mahomes at 45, Watson at 46, and then jumps up to Hurts at 51. He ain't touching what Prescott is getting, what Stafford is getting, what Love is getting, Lawrence, Burrow. No, he's that second to almost third tier quarterback in the league right now, I think.
Yes, and I wouldn't disagree with you, but I will say this. I can't do math quickly enough in my head. If you're Baker Mayfield, you're looking at this past season when 3,600 yards, you were hurt for a little bit of that time, and 26 touchdowns. And then the year prior, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns. The year before, also over 4,000 yards with 28 touchdowns. And then you're looking at Daniel Jones going, well, hang on just a minute. You're saying that I should be getting roughly what Daniel Jones is when Daniel Jones has 19, 8, and 2 touchdowns, obviously hurt in
I get it because, look, when I was growing up, the Lakers played in Inglewood. It's still L.A. County, but it ain't L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas was playing Arlington. Right? I mean, this happens. It's just the state line that kind of throws me off a bit.
Yes.
You know, you're not.
Understandably.
It's the state line throws me off. But
City
whatever
only has-
financially
You're simply
works
not
for
in
them, we're good.
Chicago.
You're not.
The city itself has 77,000 residents. I bet the stadium itself is going to have like 75,000
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
You'll double that city's population on game day.
I saw someone tweet, God, I forget who it was. Maybe it was one of the Pardon My Take guys. I saw someone tweet that basically the Bears bluffed themselves into this situation. Like, in trying to get funding for a new stadium, they were like, I swear to God, we'll do it.
No,
The
this
city of
reminds
Chicago's
me
like,
of.
do it then.
Exactly. And then they were like, no, I'll really do it.
I was in college.
right.
I was in college. We went and partied in Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
Police tried to pull us over. I wasn't driving. The Idaho police tried to pull us over. And as soon as we crossed state lines, I had to peel back. And we just kept pushing.
Oh my God, that's like an action movie.
I mean, we weren't speeding. We were
Yeah.
like, all right, let's do the speed limit. But if he follows us across these state lines, then
How
we'll pull
long
over.
was he trailing you?
For like 2 minutes.
So you were in a police chase for 2 minutes.
It was a police, more like an escort.
It was a police chase. Where were they escorting you? To jail?
Back to state lines.
Go on, get it.
What we're watching the Mariners'
Get outta here.
upcoming series against the Tigers next.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch,
Here comes the 3-2.
every game,
Swung on and missed. Got him.
one app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game,
Julio racing back.
right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
I go to Starbucks every day. They introduced the app a number of years ago. I was a very early adopter to mobile ordering with their app. That's an efficiency for me. I don't need the cashier experience. I don't need standing in line. Customers want the same thing. We video inspect all of our cars when they come in for a service appointment. So when we're doing a maintenance visit here, we do a video inspection of your vehicle. The technician shows you what your tires are at, what your brakes are at, what your filters are at. That's what we're sending to people. They open it, they look at it, they're in a meeting. But we've met them where they want to be met for quick and efficiency. And that's meeting a lot of new tech customers, but also just transparency.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of feller who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with, Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation, they're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now, Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to HarleyExteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through June 30th.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and Cruising Into Summer is back at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and so are some of the biggest acts in entertainment. Bingo Loco taking over Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel on Saturday, May 30th. Think bingo, but with DJs, dance-offs, prizes, and a full-on party vibe. Then master mentalist Colin Cloud brings his hit show, Colin Cloud Mastermind, to the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel Ballroom Saturday, June 13th. You won't believe your eyes. Tickets on sale now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Listen every day to the Bump and Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm, we got you.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
When I'm catching up with friends or family, C-Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, it's where we go. A welcoming atmosphere, and I get to see my good friend, Chef John Howie.
Hey, thanks, Brock. At C-Star, we're known for fresh local seafood, unmatched hospitality, and great value. Right now, enjoy a 3-course dinner in the lounge every night, starting at just $50.
$50. You cannot beat that value these days, and it's only with Chef John Howie at CStarRestaurant.com, CStarRestaurant.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A very interesting conversation about Russell Wilson coming up in less than 15 minutes. Right now, though, let's talk about the Mariners-Tigers series. Mariners open up the first of a 3-city road trip here in Detroit. Today's lineup is out. Crawford, Rodriguez, Arozarena, Naylor, Ref Snyder batting fifth, your DH. Garver, your catcher, Young, Robles, Emerson, Brian Wu on the mound. First pitch is coming your way at 3:40 p.m. Pregame show at 2:30 p.m. Want to see, need to see. We all know how it works. Something you kind of it would be nice. It'd be a cherry on top to see in this series. We're talking about things that are a little less likely. Maybe things where it's like a beggars can't be choosers. You'd be like, you can't have that too. Things you just kind of want to see. And then what you desperately need to see in order to feel better about the Mariners' World Series chances. Bump, want to see, need to see for this series against the Tigers.
Want to see.
There's a lot of choices. Going first is stressful.
There is. But you know what? That's all right. I like stress. Sometimes stress is good.
You meet the moment.
Want to see Castillo have his start and just ball out. Right? He did his thing during the piggyback. Got himself out of a jam one time, looked good another time, had a tantrum, relaxed. Lots of emotions. It's like dealing with a 3-year-old. A 3-year-old's within 10 minutes they will feel every emotion the human body can imagine or feel. It's just the way it is.
It's just a scramble.
I feel like that's what Castillo went through because you ever do something and it's like, I know when people really mess up and they go to court and they do some objective stuff, they're like, that's not me. When it really that is you did that. But sometimes you do something out of character, right? It's like, yeah, what was I doing? I guarantee you Castillo looked at that film of him throwing his jacket or whatever. It was like, that's not me. What am I doing? So I want to see Castillo. I need to see. Is it need or want?
Need.
I need to see Castillo look like The Rock.
Oh, that's what you need to see. Sorry. Okay, so now you just do want. Something that you're like,
want.
I want to see. This would be nice. I don't need it, but I'd like it.
I want to see Cole Emerson go ham. I want to see him just
go crazy.
Ride the wave, man. I want to see him have like 2 bombs, 2 stolen bases, a play at third base, just swag it out like I'm here.
Yeah.
Have that moment.
I'm here. Curtis, what about you? Want to see, need to see?
Want to see. I want to see Josh Naylor start to get the power back going. Only 11 extra base hits for him this season. 6 home runs, 5 doubles. Last year, he was a guy that had a really good slugging percentage while he was here. So I want to see him get some extra bases with his swings coming up on the road trip. I need to see more series victories. Just keep this momentum going. You've got 2 teams that are not really good right now, especially the Tigers, who are only a half game up or 1 game up on the Angels for worst record in the American League. The Orioles have scuffled a lot this year. That's the team you play next. So win 2 of 3 at least against the Tigers. Win 3 of 4 at least against the Orioles. Set yourself up nicely so that a series against the Nationals, who have been competitive this year. Now, the Nationals are back below 500 right now, but 31 and 32, they're only 2 games worse than the Mariners right now. So I think set yourself up nicely here so that you're not having to kind of salvage a road trip against the Nationals.
From the text line, they also, like Bump, wanted to see, Bump chose need, but they want to see Castillo be the Rock. They said they need to see the Mariners hit left-handed pitching. Something they absolutely need to see. Do they face? Oh, yeah, tonight. Framber Valdez. I just read the lineup. Yes. I'm going to halfway steal that one because I was looking at the latter half of the lineup. So I want to see the Mariners string together hits. It does not every inning. I'm not saying small ball. I'm saying I want to see 1 inning, maybe 2, where they just string together some hits and drive in runs that way. I love the home runs. I'm okay with that being your formula. It's today's MLB. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to see an inning. What was the game? They ended up losing it. Was it against Kansas City where they strung together all those hits late? It was recent, so maybe not Kansas City.
Yeah, it was in that 9th inning. They were down 8-3.
Yes, thank you.
And then scored 3 runs on like 4 hits.
I want to see that. I want to see that kind of production. It could be spontaneously random 4th inning, but just stringing together hits to drive in runs and then that coming with a victory rather than a loss. But it was so encouraging to see. You were like, where was this? What I need to see, like this listener, is hitting left-handed pitching.
Mm-hmm.
They got there. In the Padres. They got there for not the Padres, excuse me. Oh my God. Who flipped their starters? I'm totally blanking.
Was it the
great radio?
It's Padres or the White Sox? Kansas City.
Oh, it was the
White Sox.
Was it? Yeah, it might have been the White Sox.
The series in which the club switched their probable pitchers so that the Mariners would be facing 2 lefties to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And they did. So I want to give them credit for that. We have seen that sometimes, but I really want to see it in this one. So beginning with Ref Snyder in that 5th spot, someone between Ref Snyder ideally, but just going down that lineup, I want to see something.
You want to see something?
I want to see something. It's just, you don't want to be predictable with that. You don't want to have another series where literally they swap around the starters and we're just going to have you face a lefty and take care of that problem.
What's funny is that after Ref Snyder, I feel confident.
See, I started saying it, and then did you hear me just kind of
cause,
peter off?
Because Mitch has been getting on base. I know his average ain't crazy. Young's liable to get hot. Robles has been decent. Emerson has been better than expected. Ref Snyder's the only one in that lineup that gives me serious pause.
Yeah.
Him and Mitch, even though Mitch is so up and down.
Yeah. I have to correct myself. The A's. Thank you, 253. I knew it was recent.
Those pesky A's. And the Mariners swept them. So.
Yeah. I knew it was a series they won. And they swept them in part because the righty bats got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Gage Jump, which still not sure that's a real name. And then Jeffrey Springs.
Yeah. Mariners really sprung on him. Okay, Curtis, you didn't support me when I said no. It's not.
Yeah.
It was noted by me that my best friend, Bump, laughed at my joke or acknowledged it. It was just a strong
It was a head nod, too, though.
A little quiet from the
Head
control
nod.
room. A little quiet. Coming up next, I think we're all having the wrong conversation about Russell Wilson.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Drayer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots. He scores.
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king. With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge. He wants more. He's got to have more. More bedtime true crime. More podcasts in the shower. Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed. He's got the gigs to grow big. Bring him the game right now. And his royal we. More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of the 30 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues.
This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners start a 3-city road trip tonight in Detroit with a 3:40 p.m. first pitch against the Tigers. It's Brian Wu against Framber Valdez. Pregame show starts at 2:30 p.m. on Seattle Sports 710 and the Seattle Sports app. Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight between the Knicks and Spurs. Tip off at 5:30 p.m. on ABC. Knicks up 1-0.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. With Russell Wilson's retirement announcement, there have been a lot of inevitable, and I would argue, conversations we engaged in too, because it's just fun sometimes, discussions about his Hall of Fame candidacy. Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback? Is he not a Hall of Fame quarterback? I have watched so many programs, whether it's Get Up, First Take, whatever, talking about it. It's just how this type of conversation works. But what I realized, Bump, is I think that there's actually a much more interesting conversation to be had, maybe especially for Seattle fans. I don't know if people outside of Seattle are going to be as fascinated by this one, but I think that there is a question to be asked about Russell Wilson that I don't know the answer to. And I know that, with sports radio, like the whole thing is have an opinion, but I want to ask it to see what you think, to see what listeners think, because I just found myself stumped last night when I was writing about this. So to reiterate, the Hall of Fame take against Russell Wilson is he won with the Legion of Boom. And I think that's probably right.
He did.
He did. I mean, that was the best defense. They allowed 14 points a game. Can you get more than 14 points as an offense, as a quarterback? The question of, like, could other quarterbacks besides Russ have won with that team? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. However, the conversation then becomes, and he was bad without them, to which you and I both hit the pause button. And we said, well, hang on a minute. We're ignoring a pretty notable chunk of time here because there is a 4-season stretch. And it's not like he was
17 to 20.
Exactly. It's not like he was bad before when Russell Wilson, you noted this, led all quarterbacks in passing touchdowns. Everyone. Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. He also clearly had more rushing attempts and rushing yards than them. And that 4-year stretch to begin his career with a Super Bowl visit and the Legion of Boom, Seattle had 46 wins. During the 4-year stretch we were talking about yesterday, 42 wins. Seattle was still successful on paper. So, Bump, my question for us to talk about today is not just, is Russell Wilson a Hall of Fame quarterback, period, but it's, if the best of Russell Wilson was 2007 to 2020, and we all think it was, why didn't Seattle win more? Why didn't they get to a Super Bowl?
Defense. Boom, boom. Defense. You need a defense. And there was a year where he was your leading rusher. Mm-hmm. He can't do everything. He's not Lamar Jackson. Now, if Lamar Jackson throws for 3,500, 4,000 and rushes 4,000 yards, you say, okay, that makes sense. He's that guy. He don't have to do that anymore. He has Derrick Henry. But it was several things. It was defense. It was special teams. And it was he would turn the ball over at the worst time, too. Every now and then you have a game where he turns the ball over. But then you also have to take into account It's not an excuse. It's real. He felt like he had to do everything. Like he had to because the run support wasn't there like it could be. And now when Chris Carson came around and things started to change a little bit. But it's mainly because of the defense, which automatically supports what people say when we talk about Russell Wilson and winning with a defense. Sam Darnold had a very, very good defense, right? Had a good offense, doesn't win without that defense. The year before was it Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Philly had a good defense. Year before that, Kansas City had a good defense. It's every quarterback needs something to lean on because there are going to be days, games, series, drives, whatever, where they just don't have it. And he needs someone to pick you up.
I totally agree. I think we conflate Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl on the backs of the best modern defense with Russell Wilson can't win a Super Bowl by himself. No quarterback can. Like, that doesn't have to be. You can hold. The latter doesn't have to prove anything about Russell Wilson. Like, could other quarterbacks have won with the Legion of Boom? Yes. Did Russell Wilson not get back to the Super Bowl because he didn't have the best defense in football? I think it's because he didn't have a top 10 defense. Yeah. And here's what I find fascinating, Bump. Okay, so there are things that I will point to with the Seahawks. They had some bad draft classes where they missed a lot. And I feel okay saying that because they've since been so good there that I'm like, just brush it off, guys. Just don't take it personally. But they did have some bad draft classes where their first picks in those drafts just didn't really amount to as much. I think that's a big part of it because Russell Wilson was getting a ton of money. In 2019, he was the highest paid quarterback. I wonder how much of this is Russ, where even at his best, he still had a role in it, and how much of it is Seattle? Because I think there is a Russ factor here, but I don't know what it is. But you know those like secret conversations that players will talk about with each other, where like you'll have players that maybe don't like Russ, and they'll be like, no, you guys just don't get it because what you don't see. And they aren't talking about him being annoying or cringy. They're talking about him being limited with certain things on the field.
Yeah.
That's what I wonder.
Every quarterback has its limitations or their limitations. And I think with Russell, it was short across the middle. Like imagine Russell in this offense or the Kubiak offense of last year. He's going to be under center more, back to the defense. How many times we see Jason running butt naked across the middle? Like that's what the run game does. The wide zone, the play action, it gets the defense flowing. Then you have to flip your hips, set up, and fire one down the middle. That's something that he just wasn't comfortable doing. Honestly, you know what I think? I think Russell Wilson in a grub offense, he'd be better. Because in the grub offense, it was downfield. Yeah, it was downfield. I'm not saying they would win.
No, but like that would have been a better fit than Grubb here with.
Yeah. Russell in that offense, I think, would be better because everything is downfield and straight to the point. And straight to the point, meaning that there's less shifts and motions and all that stuff. With Grubb, it was line them up 2x2, 3x1, tight here, down the field, boom. It's like some college type stuff. So I think in that offense, he would put some numbers too.
Okay, hear me out, and I'm not defending myself. Was there some merit to the let Russ cook movement then? Because that's what they were calling
he was cooking. He was literally cooking. With Giants, 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns here, he was cooking. Now we know that at some point you got to take the pan off the stove. The food is done. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason to cook it anyway. It's burning. At some point it started burning, and it's like, okay, because you know what? Just like we say with Colt Emerson, how the league is going to adjust to him. The league adjusts to Russ. You have great defensive coordinators out there who understand, well, let's take this away and force him to go here. Therefore, you're done cooking.
I think the Russell Wilson conversation is simplified in a way that makes it not as fun and not as interesting. It is really boring to say Russell Wilson, I've already said this, only got there because of this. In talking about it right now, Bump, with kind of like, well, what if you think Russ would have been better with Grubb, I'm like, what if all these things were just kind of like passing ships in the night, where it's like the best of Russell Wilson kind of grew into a quarterback that just didn't work with what Carroll did, which kind of supports Russell Wilson's argument about wanting out. However, if Russ wanted more support and wanted all these things, well, now you're the top paid quarterback in football, or now you're getting paid a ton of money and this team isn't hitting on as many draft picks, so that makes it a little complicated to add. It's like the whole thing is not even a metaphor. It's a perfect capture of how really good teams can still not win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have all the pieces on paper, even though they struggled with the offensive line. Not everything was perfect, but like.
That was another thing, too. He was one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the game. A lot of it, or some of it, was because he held the football forever, too.
Yeah.
But he was also sacked a lot.
I don't know. I find it really interesting I think there was real limitations that Russ put on the offense that we just didn't see at the time. I also think that Russ didn't have the pieces around him, and that version of Russ was good.
Mm-hmm.
Even if people didn't like him. But yeah, did he kind of sink it for himself? Is there something Russ could have done differently? And we're talking 2017 to 2020 Russ, the best version of Russ. Is there something he could have done differently?
Relationships and being more willing to adapt his game. I think that if he were more willing to adapt his game. Remember when Drew Brees had shoulder issues, right? And then as he got older, what did he do? Drew Brees was a check down champion of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a couple of shots, but I'm going to let my speed open up the gap between the second and third level, and I'm going to take what the defense is giving me. Russell wanted to push the ball down the field. He wanted to be the big play guy, which is cool. You want your quarterback to want to do that. But every now and then, be okay with the check down Charlie. Check down Charlie is very safe and can make a lot of money in this league for a long time. Peyton Manning did not have the strongest arm in the game. Granted, he was like 6'7", so you can see over the line. But, man, he just dink and dunk. Let your athletes do the work for you. When I coach my quarterbacks, I'm like, look, you throw a 5-yard hitch, and he takes it 85, that's 85 yards for you, dog. Like, you get those yards too. So I think that was the thing is it felt like Russ's ego got in the way of his evolution as becoming a veteran quarterback. And if you're not able to do that, adjust your game to what you're capable of doing physically, the league will get rid of you so quick.
From the 206, Aaron Rodgers only won one Super Bowl.
Facts. But come on now. It's Aaron Rodgers, man.
That was my reaction, too.
Aaron
but
Rodgers.
Here's the thing. I actually think it's a fitting conversation because these two, even though Rodgers is a bit older, these two were kind of neck and neck with contracts, going back and forth. At one point, I forget who got theirs first, but I think it was like upper 30s per. And at the time, that was the highest, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, that was the highest paid quarterback contract in the NFL. I don't remember which one was which. If Rodgers set the market right after Russ or vice versa. Either way, I think that because those two were considered pretty great at the same time, it was seen as like, well, what if you give Russ some of the freedom Rodgers has? But I see them as fundamentally different quarterbacks.
But you got to earn that trust, too.
Yes.
And I don't know what Russ was like in the meeting rooms and on the whiteboard, film and all that stuff. I don't know. But if he were capable, you would assume that he'd have that. And Aaron Rodgers has like dang near 20,000 more
He's
yards.
a 4-time MVP who is a much more efficient passer.
Yeah.
This guy is regularly touchdown to interception ratio leading the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that they're different passers.
They are. Aaron Rodgers is a pocket passer with the ability to get outside, or did. He used to have the ability to get outside. Russ did most of his work outside that pocket.
Yeah. Oh, this person said, my point was agreeing that good teams don't win. Maybe just being good or whatever. But that even, I get what they're saying, that even the very best quarterback only has one Super Bowl, or a very good quarterback
Peyton
only has
got
one
2.
Super Bowl. Exactly. Because you just have to have other pieces go right around you. I guess what I'm saying is I think Russ is getting blamed for things that aren't his fault and then not getting talked about for things that are his fault.
The top 5 quarterbacks when it comes to passing yards.
Okay.
Tom Brady,
Yep.
go 6 of them things, or 7. Drew Brees, 1. Manning, 2. Favre, 1. Rodgers, 1. Number 6, Stafford, 1. It's just hard to win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Unless you're Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw, and Joe Montana.
Handful of guys ever.
Troy Aikman, too. 3 of them things. Like,
yeah.
It's just hard to do.
And if we want to talk about Troy Aikman's numbers, we can, but we're not having that conversation.
Russell Wilson's numbers take a deuce on Troy Aikman's numbers.
Well, this is the interesting thing is Russell Wilson's numbers are also better than these other borderline quarterbacks we talk about. Like if you look at, now this is not by every single metric. Phillip Rivers would, for instance, be leading in passing yards here. But if you look at quarterback rating, which tries to encapsulate a couple different things, or passer rating, excuse me, he's higher than Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, and Matt Ryan. he's in that weird in-between spot. I don't disagree that he's a borderline candidate. And you asked the other day, like, would you lose sleep if he wasn't inducted? And I was like, no. Like, it wouldn't feel like an injustice to me. What does make me frustrated is the take of he somehow was bad without the Legion of Boom when he was at his best without them. But Seattle didn't win a Super Bowl, and I think there are a lot of really complicated reasons why, and some of it is Russ. And I think that's really interesting.
Eli Manning got 2 of them things, you know? And
he's going to be in the Hall eventually.
He will. His name is Manning, and he has 2. And he beat Tom Brady twice. He beat the GOAT twice. Dan Marino doesn't have 1, but he has a whole bunch of yards. You mentioned Phillip doesn't have 1. How many does Ben have? 1 or 2?
Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah.
2, right?
I think he has 2, right?
2.
1 with Tomlin, 1 with he's got 2.
This is another point, and last one before we get to 4 Down Territory. This person said nobody loves Russ as much as Russ loves Russ, and I think that while it has nothing to do with stats bump, the persona of Russell Wilson is part of the conversation. Not a lot of people stan Russell Wilson or love Russell Wilson. Former teammates aren't in his corner talking about how he's being disrespected. And I think that does sway people's opinion.
Yeah.
So
it's Russell is a complicated conversation. It's because he accomplished so much. He overachieved, but he did it in a way that rubbed people the wrong way at times. It did. But it's not like he's a criminal or he's like a con artist, like he's a bad businessman or something like that. It was just the way he handled relationships. I felt like people, and we've said it 1,000 times in the show, it didn't feel authentic. I know, Stacey, some corny dudes. Corny to the core, and that is just who they are, corny. Like this person says he didn't get respect from teammates because he wasn't black enough, right? And what does that even mean? And I think that because of what blackness is projected in TV and in music and stuff, it's like if a black dude does not act this certain way, then he don't care about his culture or anything like that. Whereas you are simply a product of your environment. If Russell Wilson grew up in the hood, he'd be a bit different. He didn't grow up in the hood. If he had the stigma of only having one parent, he'd be different. He didn't. He had both parents. So I think stuff like that is held against Russ because you see him and you're like, okay, he's supposed to be a certain way. He's supposed to be however his parents raised him, wherever he grew up. That's what he's supposed to be. As long as you don't turn your back on your people, you're good. And I don't think he's done that. I just think that the presentation is not what people expect out of someone that looks like him.
there are a lot of fascinating conversations to have with Russell Wilson. You don't even have to like him, but there are a lot of really interesting topics. It's not like he wins every argument. It's not like he comes out the winner. And, you know, when you're talking about why didn't they get to a Super Bowl, I think there are a lot of people, probably some former players, who would be like, yeah, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't good enough. But it's just fascinating. So I think that's a cooler conversation. And I'll end it there. Let's get to 4 Down Territory.
This is 4 Down Territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bump.
First down bump. Who's a team that may not be getting enough attention in the AFC?
The Broncos, man. I think the Broncos are going to be a thrill again. Last year they had one of the best defenses in the game. And I was reading something, and Sean Payton was like, I think Waddle's really picking up the offense. I go, dang, they do got Waddle over there. Downfield threat, speedster, had 9, 10, and 6 touchdowns last year. They still have Cortland Sutton over there, 1,007. Still got Troy Franklin out of Oregon, 709 and 6 touchdowns. And then they added a tight end in Ingram. And let's not forget, they picked up Jonah Coleman. I think Jonah Coleman could quietly be like maybe the 3rd best rookie running back in the game, depending on how many carries he gets, because he's sharing with Dobbins and Harvey, and both of them were good backs last year. They have a good team over there. They have the 15th hardest schedule. They do have to play the NFC West, and they're 13th on ESPN's early power rankings. This is a team that I think if Bo Nix does not get hurt, they're probably in the Super Bowl.
Second down. Seattle still would have won that Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
I think so, too. Who will have an opportunity to make themselves a lot of money this year?
Gibbs, running back out of Detroit. Dan Campbell says he's going to be our, why can't I remember how to say this word? Bell cow?
Bell cow.
Bell cow.
You said it
I always want to say cowbell.
Yes.
More cowbell.
Bell cow.
More cowbell. Bell cow. He has an opportunity, and his contract is coming up. He could be one of the few running backs to get like $20+ million a year. I think he'd be worth it. Over 1,200 yards rushing last year, over 600 yards receiving. He does just about everything. He will have Pacheco over there sharing time with him. I think his better days are over. He's just going to be a backup running back. But Gibbs is, you know how we were talking about with the Spurs against the Thunders, like it's bigger than you, Spurs. Gibbs is bigger than you. Like, you got to ball out so the next best running back coming up can get his money, because we know how important you guys are to the league and for a team. I mean, that's why K9 got his money. And people say, oh, he was overpaid. Like, no, you see what a good run game does for an offense, what it does even for a defense, slowing the game down, taking time off the clock. So I think Gibbs has an opportunity here, and I think he'll do it. If he stays healthy, he's a top 3 running back in the game. He'll get her done.
What do you think? You have the Bears winning the NFC North this year?
Nah, the Bears, yes. I got the Bears.
Where's Detroit finish?
Detroit what? I think Detroit finishes, this is the toughest.
I know.
Not the toughest,
Hard
one
to
of the
predict.
toughest. I'm going to say Detroit finishes 3rd, but still gets to the playoffs.
Packers
Yeah.
and then Detroit.
Yeah.
I think they might win it. No, I said
Oh, really?
Bears yesterday. No, I agreed with you, but I think it's between them and Chicago, the Indiana Bears.
Mm-hmm.
3rd down. Anything stand out from our conversation with Drake Thomas?
Yeah, he talked about how he needs to get better with open field tackling. And I don't think people understand how hard that is. You are at the mercy of the ball carrier. Like, your best bet is to make contact. Now, obviously, you want to tackle him, but make contact and have everyone rally to the football so you can get them down. I told a story about my first and only open field tackle in college football. In high school, it was different. I was just better than everybody. You get to college, these are some grown men. It was a fake kick, a fake punt against Auburn. And first off, Auburn, you're already whooping our butt. Y'all didn't need to do that. Y'all did not need to do that.
That was excessive.
It was like, come on now.
Do you remember what the score was?
We were down by at least 3 scores at the
And
time.
they did a fake
like, y'all
punt?
need to be doing this,
That's
man.
rude.
It's Thursday Night Football on ESPN.
That's the SEC trash.
You know, trying to just embarrass us, right? But
they said we need to practice a few things.
Exactly.
That's what
we
they
were that
did.
team. You try something. Let's try this.
Let's try this out.
So they do a fake punt. The tight end Will Aaron, who I played with the Seahawks, he gets it, and he is downhill. There's no wiggle to this man. I know he is not going to try to juke me or nothing. He's getting downhill. So I took the proper angle, forced him to the sideline, and just threw my body at his legs. And the way I threw my body, I hit him, my body spun around. It's like, you can tell I ain't been in the tackling practice drill, okay? I spun around, made the tackle, and when Drake was talking about open field tackling, I had flashbacks of trauma. Just, I have like 40
You're seeing
yards.
yourself spinning around.
I got 40 yards of this guy running straight at me, and yeah. So I think Drake Thomas, man. I think I'm excited for him this year. He's coming in as a starter. He says the mental is the same, so has a chip on his shoulder, but it has to be like satisfying or gratifying.
We're
Hopping
bringing
in,
it back.
bring it back.
Gratisfied.
Coming into this season and knowing that you're going to be the guy.
4th down. You owe someone an apology. What happened?
Dude, I got old quick, man. Like, I
You
feel
did.
good. Like, I work out every day. I eat okay.
Remember
I
that
don't
one
eat
time
perfect.
the person at VMAC told you good luck before training camp? So
yeah,
you still look
yeah.
young.
I hopped out the truck.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, good luck. Hope you make the team. I'm like, you see these grades, bro.
It's just, but thank you.
I'm actually a coach. But no, I owe Brock an apology, man, because technology got me. This whole time, apparently, my X feed has been private. All this time. I could have 100 million followers right now.
So you didn't see the lock next to your
I don't
name?
pay attention to that. I just hop on the feed and be like, oh, let's go. Let's see what Stacy's doing with her 50,000 followers. You know, I'm trying to chase Stacy. So help me get to Stacy's level, okay? She's got 100,000,005 followers.
It's not true.
I need 106 by next weekend.
What if everyone just unfollows me and follows you?
Be a bad idea. Don't do that.
I actually don't think that's your oldest moment.
It's one of them.
It's top 5 mostly because we were all talking on air about how Brock doesn't follow you, and then had to learn in real time with a text from Brock that he has indeed requested to follow you. So it was being wrong that adds to the oldness.
Yeah.
But
I thought Brock just wasn't following me. I go, dang, Brock, like, we just spent a week together in the Super Bowl. We bonded. I've known you for like 10 years now.
What's the oldest thing you've done recently?
Oldest thing I've done.
Where you were like, dang. Like after you did it, you had to kind of
You know, it was I was working out and my back was hurting. And I sat down and put my sock on, and the first swipe I missed it. I had to go again. But my back was hurting, so I couldn't move the way I wanted to move.
You're listening to Bump Stacy on Seattle Sports, the Seattle Sports app. What's sticking with us? Coming up next.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
The warm weather has me thinking about summer plans. Stacy here to add one more thing to the top of your list. Book a demo and check out the brand new all-electric wakeboat from ARC. I got to ride in the brand new ARC Sport, and it was like a luxury EV on the water. Quiet, powerful, easy to operate, low maintenance, obviously, because it's electric. As soon as you see it coming, you know it's different because it doesn't make any noise. No loud engine or gas fumes. You hop aboard, immediately feel like you're someone very important. Luxury finishes, clean tech throughout. Driving it is smooth, and it has really impressive kick that you expect from an EV. Charging it is also really easy, and they never have an issue finding chargers. Yes, I did ask. So not paying for gas is a huge plus. Book a free demo and see it for yourself. You're going to come away impressed. They're doing demos in Lake Union, Lake Washington, and Lake Sammamish. And honestly, if I could drive one of these to work, I would. So schedule yours at arcboats.com/demo. If you can't make it to them in Kirkland, they'll come pick you up.
People can see through if it's not genuine, and it's genuine here. The Johnsons always talk about in orientation meeting, their dad and grandpa, they always maintain that it's a people business. We're not here to sell cars and work on cars. That's what we do, but it's really about just helping people. Every month we have a new employee orientation meeting, and the Johnsons present. They can't get out to all the stores every day and meet everyone, but at least they get to shake hands with new employees every month in the orientation meeting. And they tell everyone there's not one car deal or one repair order that is worth tarnishing our reputation and ruining an experience for a customer. That just is really what is instilled.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way. I have the power!
Masters of the Universe has arrived in IMAX. And does it feel good? Critics agree it's the most fun you'll have at the theaters this summer. It's hugely entertaining. Wow. A nostalgic blast. It truly has the power.
Let him do his thing.
Experience it on the biggest screen possible.
How does it feel to be the mighty warrior?
Pretty great.
Masters of the Universe, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. Now playing in premium large formats in IMAX.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Mariners and Tigers today in the Motor City. First pitch at 3:40, pregame at 2:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
The idea of push-starting a boat just doesn't seem right to us here at Pacific Power Batteries. A marine battery should just plain work every time. Let us help you with selecting the right type of marine battery. Deep cycle, starting battery, AGM, or even lithium battery. You can start with our helpful hints on our website or just stop by and talk with us. Don't worry, you don't need to be a Marine to buy a battery from us. Get it? Marine batteries? Pacific Power Batteries. Come into a business with a soul.
Dave Wyman here, brand new member of Harborstone Credit Union, and I got my PNW cashback checking account for free. No fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. Gas, groceries, coffee, travel, lunch, all categories count toward your cashback. Open your free account online like I did. Go to harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 30 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply. This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Looking back on everything we've learned this week from our guests, we got a couple things sticking with us. We'll start with this one. Aaron Schatz was on with you guys talking about the Rams' offseason moves. And yes, many of them are great, but he did have one thing that he was still confused about.
Well, I think that the Seahawks have set themselves up better for beyond, and the Rams have set themselves up better for 2026. The question is, why the Ty Simpson pick? Right? All these moves are all in the same direction except the first-round pick. The fact that they used this year's first-round pick on a developmental quarterback doesn't make any logical sense when you look at the other moves that they've made. It's very strange that, like, they could absolutely use a third wide receiver or a more offensive line depth. There's like a lot of other things that the Rams could have used.
I'm so glad he mentioned that because I still don't get it. And if the answer is, well, Matthew Stafford could get hurt, I'm telling you right now, and Bump, you know this, you would get better play out of a veteran quarterback than you would out of a rookie being thrown into a game because Matthew Stafford's hurt.
I'm looking up the available quarterbacks. Russell Wilson, just retired. I mean, there's not really a lot out there.
No, at the time they would, but they would have been competing in a market because I'm guessing that they knew in advance, long advance, they were going to take Ty. Let's say that they were sold on, like, we want to go offense here. Like, they would have been competing in that market for some of the guys that ended up signing elsewhere.
Yeah, they would have. I like the way you put it. I mean, clearly the Rams look at this journey differently.
Mm-hmm.
They are the hop in the car. We're going to hit the road. Everybody's got to hold it. You got to use the restroom, hold it. Okay, because we are going. We're going as far as we can right now until, okay, finally, we get to Vantage when I go to Pullman. All right, I don't stop until I get to Vantage. I get to Vantage, I'm like, it's like halfway there in my mind. Okay, we can stop here. The Hawks are like, hop on in. Get your snacks. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in for the long haul.
Vibe's going to be good. What music we going to listen to? You got your iPads, kids? Let's go. We'll make our stops. And on the way, they're smooth, right? That's the way I see this is they're so steady in their approach to where the Rams are like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Both approaches can work. The Rams did it in 21, and they won a Super Bowl. The Hawks have been doing this for 10 years, and they finally got one. So which one is going to hoist the trophy at the end of the day? It could be neither of these guys, right?
Yeah, no one's leaving room for that possibility.
Yeah, it could be neither. Things could happen, and no one holds the trophy up. But it's going to be fun watching how each race is ran. And when does one get the lead? When does the other get the lead? I went to 2 baseball games in a row last week, and I lost on the what's the little race car, the boat races?
The hydro races.
I lost. And that's how I see this race. It's because with those hydro races, it's usually the one who's like lagging back towards the.
They try to trick you.
Yeah, lagging back towards the end, and that's the way I see the Hawks. Like they're just chilling. We're gonna run our race. I'm not gonna come out too hot. We hit the corner. We'll be fine. And when it's time to hit the gas, we're gonna hit the gas.
Mm-hmm.
Rams are sprinting this whole thing, and it might work. It might work for them. It's proven.
Yes.
So that's why they're doing it this way.
Yes, and I do agree with Aaron overall that if this was gonna be your approach, which you knew it was, you'd already traded for McDuffie. Why didn't you get your wide receiver? Bump, you think that Lemon could end up being an offensive rookie of the year?
That would have scared the heck out of me.
Right? Like, why not? You're already, and it's not like by virtue of taking him, you can't, like, you have him for his rookie contract. He's a young player. You're still building up your team, and I know that quarterback is the single most important position, but like, I guess I just don't believe the Rams were absolutely sold that Ty Simpson is the second coming of Tom Brady. This is a horrible, actually, cross example. Maybe Patrick Mahomes, who was taken 12th. I don't know.
They had to have liked him.
It feels weird.
They had to have liked him.
They took him at 13, but like, doesn't it feel kind of weird? It still feels weird.
It does.
Yeah. Next up, Jordan Schusterman talking about Julio's chances to be an MVP candidate.
With Cal missing all this time, if the Mariners can emerge as clearly the best team or one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the American League, both in the standings and in terms of just roster strength, and Julio is clearly the face of that, he's got some ground to make up statistically. And strangely, his very poor defensive metrics early on in the season, which have started to turn around, that's still dragging down his WAR. But the offense, as we've talked about, has been better in the first half than we've ever seen. If he has an even bigger second half, I mean, we're going to be talking about a power speed center fielder who plays nearly every game for one of the best teams in the league. So that checks a lot of boxes for his cases. I mean, listen, this guy's already finished 7th, 4th, and 6th in 3 of his first 4 seasons. So it seems almost ridiculous to hold his standard even higher. And yet, I do think the circumstances this year do set him up to be maybe a finalist or at least top 5.
I think if Julio entered last season playing like this, we'd be having a lot more conversations about Julio. Because we talked so much about Julio has to be it for you. Julio has to be the MVP. And like every season, preseason was always, Julio. And then Cal just stole the spotlight. We were all talking about Cal and the Mariners heading into this one. And it's like, guys, Julio is having his single best start to the season. And we've just, for the first time in his career, we're not singularly focused on it.
What's cool about it is that for 2 years in a row, if Julio continues to play the way he's been playing, the Mariners could have an MVP candidate. Like legit, and Julio, Schusterman just pointed out he finished, 7th, 4th, and all that stuff. But this one just feels different than the other years, right, because of the way that he started. With Julio, it's like we're waiting towards the end to see if he picks it up. But that's what you need from this team. You need someone to be in the MVP conversation for these guys to even have a chance. Because when it comes down to it, you need MVP type of performances in these certain type of moments, right? We saw Cal have his moment, obviously, sending these guys into the playoffs back in the day. But with the 60 bombs last year, we saw it night after night after night after night. I feel like the year before that, towards the end, when Julio got really hot, he was on like a 14-game hit streak or something like that, something crazy. I think it was a franchise record. If not, it was close. This is the type of team that needs MVP type of performances to really be in the mix. So I like that Cal's having that down year, and Julio's like, I'll hold it down for you, big dog. You just get back healthy and let's roll.
Now, Jordan said as part of this conversation, he leans right now, as early as it is, towards like a Yordan Alvarez, who I don't even know if he'll be with Houston all season long. But I almost think that Cal missing a chunk of the season, and certainly Aaron Judge being hurt and missing a chunk of the season, makes the narrative easier for Julio. I don't think Julio needs to lead the league in home runs to make his case the way that Cal did.
No.
Like, I think that, especially if Julio gets hotter, like, he has to be even better than he is right now. If he is and becomes that, it's so easy to use the context of, like, they don't have Cal, the offense was struggling, they didn't have Brendan Donovan, and then look what Julio did. You know what I mean? Like, if he ends up having that kind of season, it's like the story kind of writes itself in a way that was tougher for Cal because Aaron Judge was raking, and Cal's best case was those home runs.
Yep.
And clearly catching, but People weren't talking
Julio
about
got
it.
to step his stolen base game up, though.
Yeah. What
Only
does he have,
got
5?
Only 5.
Low. Next up, we've been playing a lot of sound for you guys about what people are saying about the Rams. How about hearing from a Seahawk about some of the disrespect Seattle's getting? Here's Jaron Reed.
I don't care who plays. They can build a super team, whatever. At the end of the day, we still have to go put those pads on the plate later on down the road.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those are great players, don't get me wrong, but it's just almost like, so what are you saying about us? You know, and I feel like we done played some of the greatest teams, hardest teams there is in the league. And, you know, I just feel like, man, look, put everybody number ones up. Just give them all to us, and then what they going to say then?
Yeah.
Let's just say, theoretically speaking, you know, we handle our business, do what we're supposed to do. Will they still be saying the same thing then?
This is such a player response. I can tell you right now, people listening are loving it. Basically, like, you still need to strap up and beat us. Congratulations on getting McDuffie and Garrett. That's great. You still got to play us.
Every competition has a favorite, and the favorite does not win in every competition. That's why you got to play the game. I'm with you, Jay Reed. Strap them up.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question, sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Text it now. 866-979-3776. That's next.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Drayer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We know this, Shannon. When the weather warms, our baseball team's bats usually get a little hotter. We also know that maybe we've been sitting around and we try to crank things to 100 and our bodies don't quite react. As the weather gets warmer, do you see more folks at IRG?
Absolutely, Brock. You know, you just mentioned it. As the weather warms up, people think they need to get outside, which is great. But sometimes they get outside, they start too fast, too quick, and they don't warm up. They don't stretch. They don't do preparation. If you find yourself in that situation where maybe you overdid it, you're hurt, you got a bruise, a bump, an ache, get a hold of us at IRG PT. We'll do a free injury screening, and we'll give you some guidance, some recommendations to keep you on your path of healthy function, pain-free activity.
How cool is that? A free screening for you and no referral needed. Just personalized care when and where you need it. Visit IRGPT.com and schedule your appointment today. Over 40 convenient locations. IRG's in your neighborhood. IRGPT.com.
We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and owning your own deck is a great way to enjoy it. But finding the right decking solution can be overwhelming. That's why all 9 of our Puget Sound locations offer decking showrooms so you can get your hands and toes on the more than 60 decking options we carry. So if you have any questions about building, maintaining, or repairing your deck, contact me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
TimberTech Vintage Collection Decking. On sale now at Dunn Lumber.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the socksies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and Cruising Into Summer is back at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and so are some of the biggest acts in entertainment. Bingo Loco taking over Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel on Saturday, May 30th. Think bingo, but with DJs, dance-offs, prizes, and a full-on party vibe. Then Master Mentalist Colin Cloud brings his hit show, Colin Cloud Mastermind, to the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel Ballroom Saturday, June 13th. You won't believe your eyes. Tickets on sale now at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Your property is almost perfect, if it wasn't for that troublesome tree or stump. Stop looking at it and mowing around it. P&D Tree Service will remove it for you. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, a small yard, or land clearing, P&D Tree will do it safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees and stumps away from homes, leaving a clean yard to enjoy. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever seen a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeService.com.
Dave Wyman here with an interesting story. A woman was about to donate a box of jewelry, but her friend told her, take it to Bellevue Rare Coins first. She walked out with a check that far exceeded her expectations. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. It's worth finding out what those items are worth during such a strong market. Before you give anything away, get it checked out at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma. Go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Mariners and Tigers today in the Motor City. First pitch at 3:40, pregame at 2:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
For 24 years, Sea Star Restaurant and Ron Bar has been Bellevue's and my go-to for fresh seasonal seafood. And my good friend, Chef John Howie, is behind every plate.
Hey, thanks, Brock. You know, springtime is the best time for fresh, wild Pacific Northwest salmon. At Sea Star, we go from Columbia River King, my personal favorite, to the Copper River King in May.
So whether it is a date night, whether it's a business dinner, or you're craving the very best wild salmon, go visit John Howie at Sea Star in Bellevue. Visit Sea Star in Bellevue.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Sports, non-sports, it doesn't matter. I'm going to start with sports. I have 2 about the Rams and Seahawks. We've been talking so much about them. This first one is What I Need to Know. Why are national experts not also talking about how super teams have a terrible history of success and how that could affect the Rams this season?
Because they're not sagacious.
We learned a new word during the break.
They're not sagacious.
Sagacious. It's, where did this go?
Oh, did I use it right?
Sagacious is smart and wise.
Because they're not sagacious.
We're not sagacious.
See? Why? Because you fall in love with the moment. You fall in love with the roster. The offseason is where you try to put stuff out there so you're right. And it's easy to jump on the Rams bandwagon and say, they're going to go undefeated. Pump your brakes, Terrence. There are reasons that you do that because there's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to do. There's no other proof other than the roster itself.
Yeah.
So they're not going to highlight the negative like that.
I also think we just remember super team failures a lot. Like, I immediately thought of, like, the Brooklyn Nets and then the Eagles when Chip Kelly was there. Like, just the first 2 teams I thought of. And it's like, we've seen good super teams win, like Golden State, but, like, you really remember the failures of super teams because you spent months hearing about them.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of, bias isn't the right word, but selective memory with that, too. A good question, though. Next one about this topic. Whether the Seahawks are Super Bowl underdogs or favored, we win either way. They talked about underdogs being against Denver, favored being against Patriots. Okay. Aside from fab defenses, aren't we just better coached and have better players?
Yeah. I believe in better coach for sure. Better players in areas, yeah. I think you can't just go across the board and say the Hawks are better at every single position. But I've seen teams with good players that aren't coached up, and they don't get it done. So I think the Rams have the edge offensively in coaching, and the Hawks have the edge defensively in coaching. I would take the edge defensively because a coach, a first-time offensive coordinator, can scramble up 20 points and help you win a ball game.
What I need to know, what's the corresponding move for the Mariners when Cal and Brendan Donovan come off the IL? Curtis thinks they're going to keep 3 catchers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
He said it during the break.
Yeah. I don't think Garver's going anywhere. I think the clubhouse likes him too much. And then Pareda has been pretty good. And then I think they're going to give Cal a little bit more time at DH, so you're going to need a backup catcher at some point. So I think they keep 3. That kind of leaves Ref Snyder or Patrick Wisdom as the odd man out. So I think maybe one of those 2 guys.
What's the over-under that in Game 2 a fan will run onto the court?
They gonna lock that down. That ain't happening again.
We're going to take them out. They're going to have snipers. It's going to be
wild.
wild.
Boy didn't even get a picture with Wemby, man.
Wemby, no, he
got
did.
a picture with his torso.
Yeah,
that's
Wemby
what I
was
mean.
so tall that this kid didn't realize that both of them could not be in the photo.
Yeah.
Absolutely not worth throwing away your access to games for the rest of your life.
No.
It's just stupid. But I need to know. I'm going non-sports for this one. My wife and I have watched a lot of shows and movies that I suggest we watch together, and we both agreed it's only fair that I watch some of the shows she likes. So we started to watch Love Island UK and Love Island USA. Great choices.
Wow.
Which I was obviously hesitant because I didn't think I'd like it. I gotta say, guys, I'm starting to get a little
Feeling
into
it.
it. He said, anyway, my question is for the guys. Are there shows or movies that your partner recommended you thought you wouldn't like, but you ended up being invested?
I like the early Love is Blind.
I was going to say that one too.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Anything
Love
else?
Island seems a bit too much.
But you haven't even tried it.
I just looking on Instagram. It's a bit
You
much.
haven't. I think
There's
that
too many
every time-
episodes.
There's not too many episodes. It gives you something to do with your day.
4 nights a week, isn't it?
5.
5 nights a week.
And then the 6 is basically a highlight reel and After Sun.
6 nights a week?
Dang. Production team is working.
The Mariners don't even play 6 nights a week.
I'm just saying, like, it's only an hour of your time. And you can catch up. You can save the episodes if you want to binge them, but you won't want to wait.
I just hate the music.
Dun, 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 dun.
You said you loved me.
Oh, yeah. The
but
music.
You didn't. Like,
The music always highlights. Like, a girl will have her heart broken, and it'll be like, you always break my heart. Someone said Love After Locker.
I love that.
Oh, 90 Day
I love
Fiance.
that. 90 Day Fiance, I rock with that too.
90 Day Fiance. I was at a nail salon and they had, which they don't typically have the sound on for the TV. The whole salon was watching 90 Day Fiance together. It was
Greatest reality show I've ever watched, though, is Love on the Spectrum, though.
Yeah.
That show is the purest show I've ever watched in my life.
It is.
Love it.
I love that show.
Love it.
Someone said I can definitely think of better things to fill my time with than Love Island. I guess
That's the thing. If I sit down and watch something dumb like that, I feel like
You gotta
I
run
just
a mile.
wasted. I'm like, I should be like prepping for work or working out or something, but I'm sitting here watching 25-year-olds who think they know everything.
Okay, well, we'll pick it
Be
up
all
on a later
stressed
date.
out.
What I need to know is Curtis the guy singing on the Xfinity commercials? It sounds just like him.
Is that the back-to-back-to-back video
right
calls?
now. Oh, which one? I think it's the.
That's the same one. Or
It's
maybe
not Curtis.
that's Jamila.
Yeah.
That one?
Not Curtis. What I need to know, a question for
Should
Bump.
be.
Where does Cooper Kupp fit into? They said the strategy of the offensive line, but I can't tell if they meant just offense in general, for the Hawks in the next coming years. JSN's obviously receiver 1 and Shaheed is 2.
Repeat the question, please.
Okay, so I can't tell what they're asking because this is what it literally says. Question for Bump. Where does Cooper Kupp fit into the strategy of the offensive line for the Hawks for the next coming years? JSN is receiver 1 and Shaheed is number 2.
He just meant where does he fit in the offense?
I think so.
Yeah, he starts the season as the 2. I think he eventually becomes the 3, and he stays there as long as he can block and produce 500 yards.
This person said, I love my wife, but she has the absolute worst taste in television. So we're just going to pretend WWE is great. We're just going to pretend WrestleMania is not like in the same family. WrestleMania and Love Island are not that dissimilar in terms of like the stuff that they're preying on with it's just going for drama and performance. And I'm sorry, but that's not objectively better TV than Love Island.
It is, but,
Okay,
but
well,
go off.
What I need to know, there's a generic for everything, like soda, chips, medicine, cereal, or whatever. My question is, why aren't there any generic candy bars like Snickers and Skittles and M&Ms? You know what? I've never thought about it before.
It's a good question. Why aren't there?
I bet some kind of crazy trademark stuff. There's some kind of legal thing behind that, I'm sure.
I mean, it's like there's generic Coca-Cola out there too, generic cereal.
It
Why not
has
candy?
to be legal.
Yeah.
Where like they've trademarked the shape and color of the candy.
Yeah.
I bet that's it.
That's it.
I don't know any lawyers. What I need to know, a golf course that you've not played on in Washington, but you really want to.
Sahali. I'm actually playing there in July, so I'll let you know. They say it's the tightest fairways in the state, so
I've always said that.
I should shoot 100.
I've said that all the greens, how the greens play.
That's how they rolling.
How they're rolling, how the greens rolling.
Hey, fast.
I can't say how the greens playing.
Yeah, you can say that, but
it's cooler if it's how they're rolling. How the greens rolling.
They're rolling. They're fast, man. They're fast.
I'm just gonna say that one time, but then I'm not gonna know how to respond. It's like when I asked that woman if she speaks Spanish, and she said yes, and then I had nothing else to offer because I was like, I don't. So
hola.
Right. So I said, ¿habla español? Sí. And then I went, oh.
Okay. Hi.
Hello. That's me with how the greens, what was it?
How they rolling.
How they rolling. And then they'll start being like, I used my 7 iron. I don't know.
No, it was
I don't
only a
know.
putter
So
in the green.
I putt off the hedge. I don't know.
No, you know what you say?
Yeah.
They make a comment like, oh, like it's like cement out there.
It's like cement out there.
There you go.
And then they're going to say something back, and I'm going to go, for sure. And
You
I have
say,
no
"Oh,
idea what they're saying.
Groundskeeper had a bad day today.
Oh, man.
God, this is so stupid. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Get ready. Seattle Soccer Fever is taking over. Join us at noon on Friday, June 19th at Muckleshoot Casino Resort as the U.S. men's national team takes the field. Brought to you by Seattle Sports. Plus, don't miss your chance to meet a Seattle Sports on-air personality who'll be on site with exclusive giveaways all game long. You could win a 2-year lease on a Mini Cooper from Seattle BMW Mini. And the first 200 guests get a free hot dog and chips. Be there June 19th at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
I got to ride in the brand new all-electric Arc Sport, and it was a luxury EV on the water. Stacy here. You hop aboard immediately and feel like you're someone important. Luxury finishes, clean, tech throughout. Driving it is smooth, and it has that impressive kick you expect from an EV. Charging it is really easy, and not paying for gas is a huge plus. Book a free demo and see it for yourself in Lake Union, Lake Washington, and Lake Sammamish. Schedule your demo at arcboats.com/demo. If you can't make it to them in Kirkland, they'll come pick you up. arcboats.com/demo.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
I think it's really important for salespeople to hold each other accountable. In particular, like more seasoned salespeople, guys that we've had around. Now, one of the deals we have that is kind of a unique of the Lee Johnson Auto family is we have really long tenured employees. I mean, long-term people.
The LJ way.
And we tell them when we're interviewing, we're looking for someone who wants a home. Someone that's career-oriented, because we do have upward mobility. So you get longer-term employees here, and the longer term they are, the more they're empowered to hold their peers accountable, right? In my eyes, it's just a reflection of the people that we've put in place around them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111.